Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching right now, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe button. Make sure you share it. Share it to everybody, your family, your friends, your baby daddy, your husband, your side nigga, your auntie, your auntie, your side chick. Share it to everybody. Help us grow the page. It's the New Normal Podcast once again. I want to tell everybody we got a great topic for you guys to watch today. You can just clear that one out. We're gonna be talking about Tyler Perry, and the reason we're talking about Tyler Perry, yeah, hit remove. The reason we talk about Tyler Perry is because I've been seeing a lot of outrage when it comes to Tyler Perry
Yeah.
as of late.
Yep.
How do you feel about Tyler Perry? How you doing? Let's talk about how you doing today.
I'm doing excellent. How you doing, man?
I feel good.
We're back again,
Just came from the gym.
building this thing of ours, this black media. Tyler Perry, and again, this is not a new conversation. I don't think. I think it's getting more voices and more ears now due to his recent film. I got about 35% into the movie, but it's very cringe. Even this first portion that I watched. And it's the same thing. Rewatched, re-rinsed. It's the same shit.
So let me ask you this question: who does Tyler Perry hate the most, black women or black men?
You know what I come to learn said you can't hate black women without hating black men.
Why you say that?
Because for far too long we have been taught we're separate. When you and your woman counterpart are one, because that's how you got created. You couldn't get here without with the other. So you ain't just you. We're not a monolith where it's black women and black men. It's a black community. And it involves children.
Yeah.
So you can't target one without targeting the other. But the media has played politics into our affairs so much that it has us thinking women over here is no me without them, is no them without us.
I agree.
So like I said, he's had a campaign for far too long that highlights too much of the struggle, and it further creates a divide.
I agree with that too. I think depending on his mood, I think that's who he hates the most in each film. Some films it seems like he's a little bit easy on the black women, and some movies it seems like he's easy on the black men. But it all seems to be based around some type of dysfunction. Black women either got to get saved or beat by black men, or black men got to get saved. Somebody got to catch AIDS. Somebody got to have this tumultuous lifestyle. Like, I don't understand why black people relate to trauma so much. And that's really the conversation, because people eat it up. And even a person like me, I haven't watched Tyler Perry. I vowed to not watch Tyler Perry because I kept seeing the same thing over and over. Yeah. And for the sake of conversation, I watched it. I hate watched it, honestly. And as I was watching, I said, I can't believe so many people, when I was scrolling Facebook, was telling me this shit was good.
And I see that a lot. And like I said, I watched the one of his recent ones, Mia Copa with Kelly Rowland.
Yeah.
But I watched it to see what the details were when I seen people talking about it. Like, and it's more so for research. Like, you see the archetype, because what he'll do, he has taken certain men and the archetype look and made them desirable. Like, now you got the dark skinned man with the build, the grays, the look, the masculine blue collar. Or he'll take the light skinned guy, like when he did with Shamar Moore, and put them braids on his head. It's certain guys that he uses as an object.
Yeah.
And he uses it as a muse for the woman.
I'm gonna ask you something. Do you think Tyler Perry is a colorist? Because when I think about the men in his movies, all the dark-skinned men have been villainized. The only time it was the light-skinned guy, Shamar Moore, he was the one trying to save her, work a job and stuff like that. But it seemed as if,
I think it's villainized, he used them as the pawn. Like, because again, once I get a certain value, when you put a value on something, it make people want it.
Yeah.
So I know they're gonna watch it, because this is what's trending now. Dark skin, this melanin popping. So I'm gonna use the dark skin complected man, because that's what's gonna get women to watch. So he knows how to get the attention of the women. He knows what to put in the movies. He knows that, because he can put stuff in there about us. It may be a portion of men that respond to it, but not in droves like women.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said that people was just saying that it's just so good, what's good about it? Are you talking
That's
about
the
the plot
question.
or the acting? Because that's a skill. We can acknowledge that. But are
The
you talking
acting
about
wasn't good.
but are you talking about the movie? The acting really wasn't good. Taraji P. Henson got in character very well, but the supporting cast
See, you did you get to the bank?
again. That's why I say just only
Okay,
from what
so
I
so
seen.
if you got to the bank, then you seen her repeat
Yeah.
2 lines 24
Oh, when
times.
she had the gun on the
She
counter.
said, "What?" She said, "Why y'all call them out there? Why y'all call the police?
Oh yeah,
Why they out there?" Then
yeah.
she said, "Why does she keep saying that? Why she keep saying what's wrong with the thing? Why she keep saying it? I'm not going out there until they get that man. Till they get that. That man said he was gonna kill me." She
Yeah.
kept saying that. I'm like, why they got her talking like a mammy?
Yeah, the extras in there was like,
I
man,
said,
yeah.
"Oh my God, like really?" She said these lines like 24 times. And I'm like, Taraji at this point showing she has no range as an actor. That's got to be talked
Yeah.
about. Taraji
Yeah.
has no range
Yeah.
as an actor.
Yeah, it's the same dramatic, overzealous, crying,
Yeah.
emotion. And like I said, I think some women can do that very well. The same way you have what's his name? Mark Wahlberg, not Wahlberg, uh Jason Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
He's damn near the same. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, yeah.
He got the same, look, spy type shit, very stoic, no real emotions. Some people just good for that. But and what they wanted to say was that he did this within 2 days. So he had 2 days to put a film out, which I would say, well, why would you got your own studio. You're on your own time frame now. You may be using, other actors that may be on the schedule. But just say people was saying that this was just a good movie. Again, I haven't watched it in its entirety, but what I've seen thus far and what I heard is just all these unrealistic obstacles to show how resilient black women can be. Is he trying to send a subliminal
Because she
message?
says in the movie, I'm paraphrasing, but she says black women always got something they got to get over, work through. Taraji said something on the
I guess.
lines of that black women always got to get like work through something to get over something. And it's like, why do I get it? Because when it comes to those type of films, and like he said, I sit around my mama, my auntie, all of these black women going through this type of issues with men. So I just replicated it in film.
Mhm.
But you mean to tell me none of those black women had good relationships? Like absolutely none of them? Because I can think a lot of people in my lives that are married and from outside looking in, seem to be a good relationship.
Not saying that it's not true, said, but however, you got to look at it like poverty. You got poverty that's 6 generations in now.
Well, yeah.
So what comes with poverty? Broken homes. And we talked about this last night. The number one way to remain or get yourself into poverty is having children out of wedlock, bad relationships, and absent father.
Yep. Yep.
And this is when I look at.
And hold on, before you go.
Yeah.
And that's with all demographics.
All demographics.
They try to, even though it's bad in our community more so, but in all demographics, it said if you have children out of wedlock, not financially stable, too young, and not being married, you're basically setting yourself behind.
Yeah, I think I pulled the numbers last week, and I think it was Asians had a household marriage rate of 86%.
Oh dang! Okay.
This is what we had pre-civil rights.
Yeah.
Whites was like 63. I think Hispanics may have been higher than the whites. I want to say. I think whites was at 66, 63. Hispanics was like 58.
Mm-hmm.
Black, I think we was at 47.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not including first and second marriages. I don't think, because black people get married and divorced and have new kids.
Right.
But knowing this and looking at what he's saying, this is what I seen with my. I can believe it, because if you got 3 single women, it's gonna be 4. It's gonna be 5, and that's
so you saying birds of a feather basically flock together?
because it's gonna be that trauma gonna be passed down.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, again, we look at the numbers. It's more women that's born.
Mm-hmm.
The cases that I study and look at daily from these crime files, where it's these unalived black women, and I watched a minimum. Told you a minimum from a month ago, 60 of these cases.
Mm.
The distinct similarities that these young black women have from the look, the profession, and the social media presence. With the number one thing that I saw that was in common across the board:
what?
Hair and TikTok. Ain't that crazy? I'm saying it again. Hair. I'm gonna say.
So you saying they got like certain type of hairstyle and they got act a certain type of way on TikTok.
I said I'm gonna go do a list. I'm gonna make a post on social media. I'm gonna link all the links to these things. I'm gonna take the time. I'm gonna put every link and thumbnail. It's gonna show the girl. You look at all these different women from 17 to damn near 40, baby hairs, and they gonna post their TikToks to show, give the audience a sense of who they, talking about. She was a vibrant soul. You can see from her TikToks.
Yeah, they always say
it's
that.
always the same. So it's so repetitive that I can see Tyler Perry seeing this for 20 years and making and make it make sense why he make these films.
So how do you feel about? Do you think he's exploiting Black trauma?
Yes.
Or do you think he's not necessarily exploiting it, but maybe, just maybe, could be called to call for attention to say, hey, we have a problem in the Black community with this? Because we could just go like you exploiting to get money, but he could also say, hey, this is an issue, so I'm putting it in the movie. What do you think?
I think that could be a residual effect on it, but again, Tyler Perry has been doing this for about 20 years now.
Yeah, about 20 years.
So for a good portion, he's been removed from that environment. And I'm sure you've been around some successful, affluent, classy Black women to show their story.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So again, I can see it from both angles, but like I said, I think he's been in that space for a long time to now he should have had or seen what it looks like to have a healthy Black family, healthy Black children, good Black men, good Black women. Because every Black man and every Black woman they're not messed up.
Right. I agree. I want to read a post real quick because this post was pertinent. This post was pertinent. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, guys. Bear with me.
While y'all listening, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the platform.
We got Ashanti in the building working the
y'all.
producers for the producers out there.
Well, I'll say this just to answer the question. I do feel like he does highlight things, right? Because we did have media out where we focused on the Black family unit, but people start talking about wanting to feel included and they want to see diversity. They want to feel like they see themselves, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, we see ourselves too much. Take us off. Put some other people on the screen.
So you don't think even back when the plays were going on, he kind of had the same thing with the plays?
I'm not familiar with the plays.
Okay.
But I thought they were like about Black family units
and some of the plays,
in some capacity.
And they transition in the movies, right? Then he transitioned some of his stage plays into.
I'm thinking about like the first movie with Taraji. I don't know what's the name of it, but she adopted the girls, and one of the boyfriends was looking at the girl, and she went in there through the radio in the tub and tried to shock him.
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
I don't know. I can do Bad by myself or something like that. But then she started talking. Then the light skinned nigga that smoked cigarette was trying to tell her stop smoking cigarettes. Came to say today in that movie too. But the dude that was looking at her, same thing. And then you got to think about like there's so many of them. But like I said, Mia Cooper probably was the furthest thing outside of his range. The cinematography looked different. He incorporated different actors.
Yeah.
I think the scenes were different. I think he could actually step out the box and be these quote unquote your Quentin Tarantino's, your Martin Scorsese's, your those type of filmmakers, I guess. But then this right here, I'm gonna say this, and this is what I say about this movie, because they talking about it took him 2 days to make it. Yeah. He made a low budget film for low budget bitches.
You said
that's how I feel. He made a low budget film for low budget bitches. I know it sounds fucked up, but that's what it is, because nothing about the acting in this movie was good. It seemed rushed. When people say 2 days, it seemed rushed. Yeah. Nothing about the cinematography looked good. Yeah. Y'all was only on 3 sets: the bank, grocery store, your house, and 4 in the school. But that was a brief moment to school. So you only had these 4 sites, scenes.
Yeah.
Different locations. So, like I said, it looked like it was rushed. The acting, Taraji P. Henson should not be in a movie repeating lines, 3 or 4 different lines multiple times in a movie.
Yeah.
That's a no. But also they stretched this movie out for 2 hours. This is not a 2 hour worth long movie.
Yeah.
And then who has luck that fucking bad where you get evicted,
Yeah.
you get fired,
Yeah.
the man come in, some people come in and rob,
Yeah.
your boss don't want to give you a check, your daughter get taken by CPS, you go to the bank, they think you robbing the bank, you got to go to like who has luck? You get ran off the road,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I saw that.
like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
like these okay. Some of those things might be plausible, but all in one day, bro.
And that's why I saw people reacting and saying it
I was
had me
crying.
teary-eyed
I
within
had
the
me
first. I
teary-eyed.
said, what about this? You can you really relate to?
Bitch, have you robbed the bank?
You done robbed the bank, you done unalive somebody the day you was about to get unalive. You ain't had your child taken the day you almost got unalive and had to shoot somebody. You can't really relate to that. So, like I said, I think it's just the need to be included in some of these conversations is the reason why, because it's gonna show, damn, okay, I am touching my audience. When it really be like, hey man,
I just think, and I don't see a lot of black men talking about they was teary eyed and then, but I seen certain people say, yeah, you just go through stuff, like men saying you just go through stuff and in reference to this.
yeah,
And I'm like, as a black man that's 36 years old, be 37 this year, I can't relate to a lot of stuff black people claim that's part of the black experience. And I say that, and I'm not like, I don't give a fuck if nigga be like, oh, we're taking your black hole. Fuck y'all niggas. Anyway, you can have that motherfucker because there ain't no money on it anyway. But anyways, I think I grew up with both my parents.
me too. Yeah.
I didn't see my daddy cheating on my mama. It happened, but I didn't see it. It wasn't an issue where it came into the house. My house was peaceful for the most part. I went to decent schools, Christian background, preacher's kid. Didn't see a lot of people getting. I didn't see women get beat up. I didn't see drugs. I wasn't around other families or other kids. Like my parents didn't let me hang around like other people that was gang banging, selling drugs, baby fathers, baby mothers. Like, so a lot of the stuff that a lot of black people internalize, I'm so far removed from that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I have these conversations, I understand, because one of the things that my parents all used to tell me, don't put your life in them white folks' hands.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I have these conversations about personal accountability, people always want to jump to the systematic approach of things. And when I have those conversations, like, I'm getting tired of y'all niggas always telling me about a trap that y'all continue to jump into. Y'all, we done told y'all had the issues. Y'all ain't got no dad, and y'all be having children too early, and y'all be broke as hell. That's really the issues why a lot of y'all have problems. Y'all have horrible decision making, and we have to have the real conversation. Y'all mentally ill, and y'all have a horrible decision making, and y'all are drunk on emotions. For y'all to be saying y'all was teary eyed over some shit that y'all probably would never happen in your life. You're internalizing a trauma or pain through a movie, and to make you cry about you not gonna get you ain't nobody finna come in there and rob you while you trying to get your check from Dollar Tree. Stop it. Stop it.
Like I said, you got to understand where you hear this term professional victims.
Yeah.
People think that it's only one way to get to a destination. And like when I was young, it wasn't, I got two parents, but I can see some of the dysfunction and some of a lot. And I always look at myself as a black sheep. The programming didn't take with me. Some of the indoctrination and doing this way, it didn't take with me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I became my own independent thinking, just doing my own research and have my own way to go in life, because you can get to the same destination taking a different route. And with what we look at as entertainment, which, like I said, that's gonna speak to who you are as a person. It's gonna speak to where you at intellectually, from an emotional standpoint. Like, certain stuff does not trigger me emotionally like it used to. When I see certain things happening, and this is a result of you letting it happen.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff you let happen to you, and then you cry and try to rally people behind it to say, well, did this happen to you? You look at some of these comments on a lot of the videos. Ooh, girl, that's me. I always see these echo chambers. I see a post go viral. I look at the comments. It's a bunch of, ooh, girl, me too. people are so hell bent on being included in something.
Mm.
And what the popular thing is now is the trauma. Oh, I had a narcissist. Ooh, 10,000 comments. Girl, me too. When the numbers medically don't even show, it's not even enough narcissists in the world for y'all to be under this thread saying y'all had a narcissist. I had a cheater. You see what I'm saying?
And if we was to actually have people get tested, most of the narcissists are gonna be women.
I would agree.
But all of them, from if you look at the list of what narcissists, what it say, that fit most women in today's society to a T.
I can agree.
But even though when you look at stats, they say most narcissists are men though.
Yeah.
But they say it's only like 5% of the population are actually diagnosed being narcissists.
And most of them are the men that women desire the most, which are the successful ones.
Yep.
Because you have to have some of those tendencies to again emotionally discard a lot of shit that people get trapped in.
Yeah.
Soaking. I'm bitter. I'm mad. Oh, my life ain't going. What you doing to change it?
Right.
Who you cutting off? Who you taking? Who you saying, hey, this is what I want to do. You want to be a part of this, or do you want what? You know, okay, well, I'll holler at you when I holler at you. We got this blind loyalty to shit that don't benefit us.
I agree.
And that's where a lot of our tropes come to play. Well, your brother used to sell dope, or when you hold somebody accountable, they'll pull up somebody that's related to say, well, they did it, so it make it all right for you to do it.
Right.
Even after you've seen the results that they get from doing it.
Yeah.
It make it seem like it's right.
All right. Well, we're gonna go and play this first video. Go ahead, Ashanti.
Okay, Tyler Perry's movie Straw that just came out. At this point, it's giving Tyler Perry is trolling us as a whole Black community. Tyler Perry knows what he's doing. The movie was just ridiculous. The amount of obstacles that Tyler Perry gave this woman in the matter of one 30-minute lunch break was insane. And on top of all that, he had her unalive somebody. Tyler Perry knew he was going to piss us off. He knew he was going to piss us off as much as his wrinkled shirt is probably pissing you off right now. And that little piece of broken blind in the background, stay focused. In the movie, the amount of chaos this woman dealt with on a lunch break. Come on now, Tyler. A whole cop tries to run her off the road in the pouring rain and threatens to take her life legally in front of another cop. Number one, the boss had me pissed off. Why are you so angry, sir? Somebody get this man a tuna sandwich on rye and a recliner. Because why are you so angry? It's a grocery store. What type of operation do you think you're running, sir? It's groceries. Number two, and this is in no order. I'm just the things that are coming to mind as I think about the movie and trying not to get pissed off all over again. But number two, the landlord on the live, as if she's not the person who put her out in the pouring rain, or where she had to scuffle for the medicine in the rain. The rain was coming down. It just made the whole scene. Okay, Tyler Perry's movie Straw that just came out. At this point, it's giving Tyler Perry is trolling us as a whole Black community. Tyler Perry knows what he's doing. The movie was just ridiculous. The amount of obstacles that Tyler Perry gave this woman in the matter of one 30-minute lunch break was insane. And on top of all that, he had her unalive somebody. Tyler Perry knew he was going to piss us off. He knew he was going to piss us off as much as his wrinkled shirt is probably pissing you off right now. And that little piece of broken blind in the background, stay focused. In the movie, the amount of chaos this woman dealt with on a lunch break. Come on now, Tyler. A whole cop tries to run her off the road in the pouring rain and threatens to take her life legally in front of another cop. Number one, the boss had me pissed off. Why are you so angry, sir? Somebody get this man a tuna sandwich on rye and a recliner. Because why are you so angry? It's a grocery store. What type of operation do you think you're running, sir? It's groceries. Number two, and this is in no order. I'm just the things that are coming to mind as I think about the movie and trying not to get pissed off all over again. But number two, the landlord on the live, as if she's not the person who put her out in the pouring rain, or where she had to scuffle for the medicine in the rain. The rain was coming down. It just made the whole scene
insane.
I forgot about that because the little girl fell in the tub, so CPS took her because she be having seizures. Like, bruh, like I just like I said, to internalize that type of trauma, and I ain't talking about, I just see one or two people talking about Tyler Perry got me in tears. I'm talking about, I'm seeing 20, 30, 40 women on my timeline. Oh, Tyler Perry got me in tears.
It's hundreds of thousands of women with those same sentiments. It's
what
the identifying with trauma is the conversation that ain't nobody really having. It's just certain, like I said, some stuff is not gonna trigger me emotionally.
Yeah.
Because like going back, you look at the Mia Culpa, we was talking about that, right?
Yeah.
These people have made it. You got the attorney, you got the artist. You go to the house where the woman was doing they're showing affluent lifestyle, but deviant behavior. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to gauge why and how he's still able to produce the movies and get the reactions that he's getting. Because it was another movie that came out after the Mia Culpa, I want to say.
Was it? Shudder, you know if another movie came out after that?
I want to say he did something else after that, right?
I think it was Mia Cooper and then this.
Oh, it could be.
That was the thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how they came up. Mia Cooper and this, but Mia Cooper, like I said, that probably was the best one to me. That was
from the storyline type.
From out of the storyline, that was different. That was, more of a suspense. But that shit pissed me off too.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen it.
So when she just randomly gonna go on vacation, and you just randomly on this island, and the bitch that he supposedly killed went missing. You see her and get to a whole fight with her.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You just randomly see her and she's just a janitor. And you just bump into her. Yeah, come on,
that's
man.
why. And then how he had the collection on the ceiling, and the art and stuff like that. Like, when I saw that, I said, it's a guy like this, because I kind of resonated with it a little bit.
But see, that wasn't far-fetched, because it made me think about when niggas used to put notches on the headboard. You remember that was a thing?
Yeah.
Or collecting panties.
Yeah.
Those were things. So him drawing pictures of the women.
I got the draws.
Yeah, I got the draws. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
like I said, like you just put like you go to people dude's house, had a little notch on the bed, count how many chicks they had sex with. So that's not to me, that's not far-fetched. That her being just on a random island.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was insane. Yeah. I was like, Tyler Perry really Tyler Perry, I got a script right now. You should call me. As long as you don't try to get up my script, we'll be great. That'd be amazing.
I think he do it for theatrics too, I gotta throw in some real wild to where people ain't expecting it, and it's so far-fetched that it can't be a possible,
But see, that to me, that makes the quality of the movie, because I wanted to turn the shit out after that. It ain't no point in me, because me as a person that's a creative, I want you to enjoy everything. I want you to see everything, and I want you to see the vision of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So if I'm seeing something so far-fetched, I just maybe want to turn it off, and I don't see your creativity where you're trying to go with this. Same thing when I watched the TV show Prison Break. You ever seen that?
I ain't never seen.
That shit pissed me off so fucking bad.
I heard about it. I ain't never watched.
Man, the first season good. Yeah. And it's like they do this. This is a lot of writers try to do this thing where fans are asking for more. So you try to stretch it to be something else. Mm-hmm. Just like the You Show on Netflix.
I was just about to mention that. Yep.
You was been stretched too fucking long.
Yeah.
It should have been ended really 2 seasons ago.
I got disinterested after that. I said, y'all doing way too much.
They're doing too much. And so what happens is the fans, it's the encore, the bravo, I want more. So you try to stretch it. And so that was like the issue with Prison Break. You would break out of prison, you end up on this island, and then y'all somehow, you and 4 other people from this other prison end up in a new prison in Mexico.
What are
the odds?
What's your top series? Like rank GOATs. What's your top 5 series? Netflix, HBO, whatever the case. What's your top 5?
Top 5 series?
Yeah.
My favorite series, not my number one, Ozark.
I'm with you there. That's in my
Ozark.
Yeah. Bates
Motel. The Gangs of London was jumping.
Gangs of London is jumping. Yeah.
Ozark, Bates Motel, Gangs of London. I like Insecure.
I did like Insecure.
Insecure
the
was
first,
good.
Yeah, it was.
Insecure
It was good.
Insecure was good. Lisa Ray wrote that was well written. I think that was another one.
I binge watched it.
That last season was the same thing. They kept asking for some.
Yeah.
She gave them some. That was another season that was pulled out. But as far as writing, that right there,
it was
great. It was a good show. So I put Insecure up there. I'm trying to think of what other series that I just watched. I'm like, damn, this shit good. That's all I got right now. Oh, I did like Breaking Bad. I was late. No, Game of Thrones. Forgot about Game of Thrones. See my Game of Thrones.
I tried to get into it. I got it. I couldn't really get into
Game of Thrones shit. 5 Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad.
Okay, so
I got 6.
Okay,
what you got?
Okay, so a lot of what you said is on my list. Ozark. Now I gave it number one. Number one, as far as just it blew my. It was just that good.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, and it's really like a tie, 1 and 2, but I think 1 and 1.
Use that one. Just push it over.
It may be 5 or 6. I think
it might be 2. I think it's 3. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You ain't got to switch it. Don't worry about it. Don't switch it.
Mayor of Kingstown.
I still ain't seen that.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Okay.
When I said it's just quality, and it was just edge of the seat engagement, like how some stuff you are watching be on your phone. Nah, you tucking that. Hey, you engaged that like The Wire.
I never seen
that. You never seen The Wire? Wire is yes.
I never seen The Wire or The Shy.
I never seen The Shy, but The Wire and Mayor of Kingstown be number 1. Number 2, number 3. I say number 2 because I get them a tie. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad was because it had a lot of. I think it had like 8 seasons.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, like I really watched that, like for real. So The Wire, Mayor of Kingstown, Breaking Bad, Ozark. Let me see for number 4 and 5. Now Power, the first one.
Power was good.
Power is
okay,
up
I
there.
forgot about Power. I would put that in my top.
Not
10.
Ghost, not Tariq, but first Power. That was good. As they got later on and it got developed, it was good.
Like the first couple seasons.
Yeah. Power, and then shit. Right now, man, that number 5, that Raising
Kanan, pretty good.
That Raising Kanan is the one. I think next season may take it up a few notches, but they about to do the Mayor of Kingstown, the new season 4 finna come out, and Gangs of London about to come out.
Oh, okay.
So that may change, but yeah, like to get such, and I use those series because these are mini movies. These are hour-long shows.
Yeah.
So to get 10 of them and do this 5 and 6 times,
you had to have some amazing fucking writers.
Your writing and the production and directing has to be top tier.
Man, like that's the thing that I don't think. I'm gonna be honest. I think Tyler Perry write all his shit
by himself. I think he got some ghostwriters.
He might have some writers here and there, and the reason is because there's no range.
They can mimic his style. Say, hey, I know this your style, like a stylist. Yeah. I know you like the baggy. I know you like the crop tee. I got know what you like. I got that.
Yeah.
I think he hiring people because you look at his schedule. He always kind of moving. I don't think he is still at the level where he has to sit. He got people that know what he like, and he'll go over it. They'll run it. He'll say, put it out. Because he ain't going to play.
I think if you've done it so long, it's like when rappers say, well, I went in there and made this song in 20 minutes. I didn't done it so long. I thought the format and all that. It probably won't take Tyler Perry a number of the plane trip from LA to California to write a script.
Yeah, I say he might still be right, but I think, like I said, his style is so you already know.
At this point, I think everybody in this room can write a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah.
It would be easy.
And they're saying, hey, this came across the desk. You want to do this movie? He look it over. Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
that's right.
They would definitely do that. I just think, like I said, when we had these conversations, we got to stop internalizing this trauma shit.
Yeah,
and I think women internalize a lot of trauma because it shows there ain't no men in these households. It ain't no men, and I just think about being a married man and the things that I can think, like my wife coming to me about, well, such and such, this bitch at work, and I'm listening. It's just like I'm hearing wow, and then it's like, then I had to figure out, am I supposed to give you a solution, or I'm just supposed to listen? Because those are two different things, right? So I'm trying to figure out, am I supposed to tell her? Because the shit she telling me, I'm just like, it ain't that big of a deal, but you want to talk my head off, just stop talking to the bitch. But yeah, what like,
and especially like when
we just so different. Like, what you telling me about? Because if you got on my nerves at work, as men, if I ignore your ass, you know I'm not fucking with you.
When you have to do something out of necessity, men, we can adapt to those harsh environments psychologically and physically because we know the objective. But when kids involved, where you see a lot of women dealing with this, and there's a man not there, it's different when you single. Okay, you supposed to be by yourself until you get yourself wherever, or you know you building with your man or woman. But when you got these kids involved, it should be an unforgivable act to leave, especially under a bullshit pretense. I don't care if they cheated or not.
Yeah,
you brought it ain't about you no more.
And what we don't talk about is how many men that have been cheated on the stage.
Man, eat that shit.
It's a lot of niggas. Actually, when we talk about cheating, we always talk about it from the male perspective of doing the cheating, but it's a lot of niggas out here that's been cheated on and have stayed. But the thing about it is, I'm not finna go tell you that my bitch cheated on me as a man, because I'm not gonna get a pat on the back and a kumbaya party, and we gonna sit around the campfire as girls and have pajama parties where we feeling each other coochie and talk about, hey, my nigga fucked on such and such and shit like that. That's what a lot of women like to do. Like,
no, we ain't doing no feeling on no coochie.
Oh, y'all ain't doing that.
We're not doing that.
Well,
but I do think if you gonna get cheated on and you're gonna stay, I feel like that needs to be in house. When you start telling other people, I feel like you just building up that backbone for you to leave. Like everybody be like, oh no, I can't do this, and you gonna get the courage to go home and say that. But if you know at the end of the day you don't want to go, don't tell nobody. Just figure it out in silence at the house.
Yeah.
And come back 20, 30 years later. This is something we overcame 20, 30 years ago. But if you do it so fresh, people automatically are going to be like, oh, what you going to do?
And we're thinking about shows. Ain't that what happened to Ozark?
Yeah.
His bitch was cheating, but he want to break his family up.
Yep.
You know, and he's actually seen a video recorded to watching him, his girl, his wife cheating on him with somebody else. So it's like, man, eat a lot of cheating, but like I said, we understand it's great. It's more than just me. Yeah. My auntie used to give me advice. She said, if you got anything that you won't forgive your spouse for, it's no point of getting married. If it's cheating,
weird.
if you can't forgive, you look at your woman, you can't forgive her for cheating, don't get married. If you can't look at them for spending all the money, don't get married. If you can't look at them for maybe saying something that you would feel like they should never say to you, don't get married. Like, if you cannot forgive, if there is anything that you cannot forgive a person for, you should not get married. And I was like, that's some actually good advice.
And I think that's where vetting comes in, like to see, you know, like what makes you tick, what you entertained by, what triggers emotions in you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see you being triggered by a movie such as this, or you taking interest in your P Valley, Empire, all this. You know, I'm like, this ain't what we subscribe to. You know, this ain't our lifestyle. We really don't relate to this, or I don't want to relate to this. And like I said, people, they want the marriage for the wedding. They don't want the
the glitz and the glam, photo ops.
Yeah, I get to be
twerk on my homegirls at the recession.
I get to fulfill my main character syndrome fantasy for the day. Yeah. I'm the center of attention. Everybody's about me. My gifts is my day. All that type of shit. Yeah, but like I said, this next woman, when she goes in, and I actually agree with a lot of what she stated, and it was just pure facts. So let's get into this next video and get your thoughts.
Tyler Perry hates black women, and I'm not saying allegedly because the proof is in the pudding. It is becoming more evident that Tyler only sees black women as hardworking, struggling rape victims that of course one day are going to be rescued by a blue-collared black man. After watching the trailer of his latest film, Straw, starring Taraji P. Henson, I'm a little offended. And honestly, I'm still recovering from mea culpa. He has managed to make billions of dollars off the backs of black female pain, and I'm sick of it. The media is a huge outlet for the insight of others. I partially blame the media for people's derogatory perspectives about black women worldwide. I'm not talking about the Beyoncés and Oprahs and Kerry Washingtons of the world. I'm talking about normal, everyday black women. It is dangerous to continue to depict us in such a lowbrow manner. Looking at you too, Issa Rae, one of them days, really? Where's our Legally Blonde? Where's our Pretty Woman? Well, maybe not Pretty Woman, but you know what I mean. Even in movies where we should be happy and preppy like Bring It On, of course we have to be the mean black bully cheerleaders. Do you know what type of message that's sending to everyone else? As a black woman, I am tired of being showcased as a bottom of the barrel human being. Who's gonna tell Tyler Perry that the average black woman is actually thriving now? We pay our bills are paid. Thank you.
So before we get into that, what she said, Tyler Perry made billions of dollars off the struggle of the black woman, right? Mm-hmm. So for him to make $1 billion off of this archetype of woman, does this hold true?
You talking about the archetype?
The struggling woman that picks the wrong guy, that's a baby mama, gotta get rescued. Because it's funny, and we always had this conversation. I seen Ashanti and Justin talk about this on her podcast last night. Russell Wilson, and the reason women like Russell Wilson, because she getting saved. But when you hear women talk about Tyler Perry, they say, oh, Sierra one getting saved. But when they talk about Tyler Perry movies, they always say, oh, the struggling black woman that got to get saved. Now y'all understand what getting saved look like. But soon as we say that about Russell Wilson, oh no, she wasn't saving him.
Just for clarification, those were not my sentiments.
No, that wasn't Ashanti's sentiments, but that was Jessica was trying to explain to her, and why a lot of black women like a Russell Wilson because of the saving aspect.
Not particularly.
Saving aspect. And he was like, this is not why men we don't like Russell Wilson, because we don't look at him as masculine or anything like that, or the man you want to strive to be, because he went out there and saved a woman that literally did a 180 on the type of niggas that she dated. But like I said, when we talk about saving, when you had this conversation about that Russell Wilson and Sierra, he saved her.
He did. I agree. But I think, like I said, you hear the conversation, women, we all hold the right to change our standards. But the thing is, you want to change your standards because of an outcome you want, not because of a natural desire and attraction. Because you still, again, even if he's playing just a great stepfather to future son, all right, kudos to him. He's a good guy. And I always use, he's a nice guy. I said most women don't like nice guys until they have to, until they need to.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? I look at it like tricking. I got to buy your attention. You mean I got to come in and hands open with this aid to show you, I got to front load you what kind of benefits come with me. You don't want to get to know me, what I like. You don't want to get to bond with me and really know the raw version of me, and we go from there. I got to come with open hands and say, I'm going to take you, I'm going to do this, you see what I'm saying? I'm going to accept whatever come with you. Mm-hmm. You ain't going to accept whatever come with me.
Right. Unless
it's a benefit. In more cases, even if I do come with back, you still get a benefit. I don't get no benefit will come with you.
I agree.
So,
and I think, like I said, we are allowed to change, and I think it's sad that we've seen so many people that got to be put through the ringer to make a change. That's the part that, like I said, when I sit here, all I got to do is sit and listen to a motherfucker talk about their life, and I'll be like, oh, you're a bad decision maker. That's really what it boiled down to. You're a bad decision maker. You thought it was good to go and get pregnant at 17 by another nigga that was 17, and y'all was in high school together. You thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
Then you did the same shit at 19 with a new nigga. Yeah. You thought that was a good idea. Same thing with dudes. Oh, you thought it was you just thought it was gonna be fun that you can go and steal a Kia. Yeah. And now you got some bullets in your ass.
Yeah.
You thought it was cool. I know you're a bad decision maker, because several times that I looked at a Kia and like, oh, we should go steal that Kia. That'll look like fun. But I understand, hey, some police might get behind us. They might jam us up pretty bad.
This speaks to the influence that, because a lot of this stuff, the fact that I can look outside my window in the city or whatever locally and see the same shit on social media, I know social media at some point played a role in the influence.
Oh yeah,
you got where you wear the mask. These were to keep my face warm. They changed the name. These are shiesty. Like I go in the store, man. Y'all got the shiesties because Pooh Shiesty talking about sliding and switches. He wear the mask.
I've actually seen on doors in businesses where they say no shiesty mask.
Facts.
It's
Crazy.
It's
facts. So I know how powerful, and the powers that be know how powerful social media is.
Yeah,
that's why you see the same things on your timeline. It's crazy that we got unlimited access to this, unlimited access to it. That ain't about that damn default or by certain. They doing it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, but I do feel that after a while, you can change your standard. You can change it, but it's certain things that because you can't change your standard without changing yourself. And let's if we want to be all the way real, we look at Sierra. You married, beautiful family, kids, great husband. What is you doing in the chair challenges and shaking your ass for? What you doing going up to Jim Jones talking about he need to marry his woman he been with 25 years?
You know what that made me think of? See, you know what? Sierra Russell Wilson made me think a lot of Whitney and Bobby Brown. And what and not in the sense, and I'm finna explain it, but in the sense of, you know how back in the day Whitney used to have like this good girl image.
Yeah.
Bobby, the one that exposed her to the drugs and the crack, come to find out. And when you listen to stories about people talk about like Whitney from the hood, like y'all be thinking Bobby was, influenced her. Whitney is from the hood. The shit she was doing, this is what she's exposed to. So y'all thinking that this woman is with this man and this man has influenced her to do this, it's not true. So when people look at Sierra being with a Future, it's always Future was the bad guy and she was the good girl. And when in fact, hey, I'm turned up just like you. You from Atlanta, I'm from Atlanta. You come from these parts, I come from these parts. I understand the same thing. You like girls that shake ass, I want to shake my ass. Like, for us to try to act like these two people were together because they have some type of similarities or they have something compatible with each other is crazy. So when you see Sierra with a Russell Wilson ain't coming from the background where you want to shake your ass, because every time you shake your ass, I never see you shake your ass on your husband.
Yeah, and he do like these cringy things where I see here and there. He's begging for her to get him another child. And I'm like, well, we know what the process of having a child is.
Yeah.
What you mean she ain't giving you another child? What you doing with your... You see what I'm saying?
I think that's just you know how some shit to be cute flirty shit.
Oh, like some foreplay type.
Yeah,
shit.
she won't give me that. I think because he said the last time before she gave him this baby, the last baby.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just like she just want to get. It's just cutesy shit. Yeah. I don't think it's on some she withholding the pussy or because I think I'm be real with you. I think Sierra gonna get that nigga a money baby she won't.
Yeah, but I'm saying
and the reason reason she gonna do that. Because y'all talking shit about my man, but I'm gonna let y'all know he getting his pussy, because that's gonna be the next thing that's gonna say, oh, he ain't in the house fucking. But if I keep popping these babies out and we keep having these cute kids, and we got 10 kids, what y'all gonna say?
But let me look at the optics, right? Because when she do these challenges, she's a very, very beautiful woman.
Yeah,
and these are sexually enticing. So you see me under the post, the dude up above me saying, "Ooh, I eat that ass right now."
Yeah.
So me as the husband, coming on my chick thirst trapping content, while 18 other guys above me saying what they'll do to my wife, not my girl, my wife.
I don't give a fuck about that. Just me personally, if I'm in that,
you want your chick throwing out thirst trapping content or sexually enticing content with no real means to the end.
So my wife now, no, you know why? Because she never done it. So she just hopped on there and showed all that ass one day. I'm gonna have baby. Let me know something. What the fuck going on?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this your wife, no matter when or what.
No, because it's like this. If my wife, I always been putting ass on there, and I get with her. It's the same thing like when niggas be trying to take bitches out the strip club. Like, nigga, you can't. She like being a stripper. She like niggas slapping her ass. She like $30 in her coochie. This is what she likes. She likes to be in the most dangerous and on the dirtiest of flows and listen to the filthiest of music, and you finna go down here and you finna walk down the aisle to some church song thing, and she gonna wear all white like she just white as snow, lily clean, and everybody in the damn audience in the pew that slapped on that ass a few times. Come on now.
Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Right,
You about to open up a can of worms.
Then.
Now, essentially, look what he did now,
Go
because
ahead.
you say before we get married, right? She was doing this before.
Yeah.
So okay, we all do stuff before we get to a certain level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if do it apply, because a lot of people will adopt, or I've adopted with, if you ain't married, you single. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Legally.
Legally, I say legally.
No,
but hold on.
If you, do you agree? If you're not married, you're single.
No, I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that, because most marriages come from biblical terms. Biblical, right?
Okay.
Adam and Eve ain't got no paperwork.
Okay.
Sex was the initiation for marriage.
I would agree. Okay.
So that's why I lean my hat on. That's why in the Bible, God told, I forgot her name, said, I think it was Lilith. He said, you got many husbands because you just slept with a lot of these niggas. Like, you got many husbands.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's in the Bible. He told her, you got many husbands because you slept with all these dudes.
And I want to entertain it, because like you'll have some guys who, you know, when I get married, I'm gonna chill out. They got all these hoes or whatever concubines, women they deal with, but it's unspoken agreement or expectation where when I go in, I can't operate the same that I did before.
Well, I think the context that's missing is the fact that it's for her career, right? So these are things that she has done to support her career. From she was doing the Ride It videos, from her doing goodies, from her
video,
all of those videos, like what
video.
she did on that with that chair. She was on that Promise video on that microphone leaning down, like she has sexy scenes in her songs. Even the Ride It video got banned from 106 in Park because of how provocative it was, but it was definitely a part of her catalog. So I think I would be shocked to see if she completely like diverted from that when she got married.
See the question I would have to ask you that, because that's where I was gonna go next. When I get with my woman, do you want her, when you get with a woman and she does something like a strip club, and that's why I use a strip club, do you think you could say, I want you to stop, I'm gonna support you?
Well, that's where I'm going. Like, if you look at Russell Wilson's income and look at Sierra's, I highly doubt Sierra's income is anywhere near Russell's.
No, it ain't
so
close.
When you say career, what career? But it's a done dotty. You're not generating a lot of revenue, because I bought your master's.
No, that's bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why. Why would you be in comparing my career? We a couple. It's my career. I don't give a fuck how little you think my career is. That's fucked up for you to be like, hey, I'm worth $500 million. Maybe you could quit that little shit. Like, it'll be fucked up for me to come in the house and say, baby, I'm worth $500 million. You ain't making nothing but $1 million a year. I don't want you shaking your ass no more, but it's mine. This is what I like to do. This is what you met me doing. And now all of a sudden I got to change because you worth $500 million and you trying to shit on my little career. How about this, nigga? As a matter of fact, how about I don't quit? I get divorced and now I'm going to take half your shit. And now we both work the same thing. And I still get shit.
I disagree, because if titles mean something, if let's say a regular, your 9-to-5 corporate structure, I'm on the phone, I'm entry level. Now I'm director. I can't act like that nigga that come in 3 hours late smelling like blunts as the director. So when you go to wife and mother, I got to go to, my children still might have to go to school. This your mama right here? Why your mama shaking ass under the guise of supporting my career that ain't making the money that's necessary?
Interpersonal relationships,
but
it's job obligations.
It's way different avenues to take to generate avenue of money for her career outside of shaking ass.
Okay, so
because let's ask, how much money did this generate, and is it necessary?
So you said on the last podcast,
what?
Here's what you said. You said, well, if you get with a girl and she does X, Y, and Z, I got to ask the question, how did you get there? Because you knew she was doing X, Y, Z. So Russell Wilson seen Sierra shaking ass before. Why wife her, and then why get
that? Don't excuse her
got
duty.
Another example.
I'm gonna give that. Does not excuse your responsibilities for accepting this title. Because I gave you the title again.
Hold on.
As a wife, you don't operate the way you did before.
So this is the issue we having.
What?
Your wife and my wife, two different things.
the wife title. It don't matter your wife or my wife. The wife title and mother.
Keisha Kaur holds a wife title. Michelle Obama hold a wife title. We can go through all these women that hold wife titles and none of them look the same. So what you talking about, just because you hold a title, they don't look the same way. You might require your wife to do something different than I require my wife. I'm like I told you, if I met Sierra shaking ass and I decide to say, hey, this is what you do, this is what you like, I'm cool with it, baby. Shake that ass. I'm gonna shake that ass some more. Shit, go get the money. If you're happy doing it, and I'm okay with wifing you and giving you a title, because the question has to be then, why would I wife you doing that already?
I'm gonna let a chance to go now. I rebutted that.
You know, it's talking about like, you know, changing your work obligations to support your relationship, right?
Yeah.
We got Giselle and Tom Brady. She made more money than Tom Brady. She wanted him to come home and be a family man. While I do feel like, dang, he could have came. He had a great career. I'm talking about like nobody will forget who Tom Brady is. He didn't feel like that was sufficient enough for him to do his career. I don't feel like just because your relationship progresses that you should have to compromise your work. Even if you're making less, I don't feel like it's fair, because that football stuff meant so much to him that he sacrificed his family.
I get that, but let's not minimize and disregard what is being done. We're talking about my wife and mother.
Work obligations.
I get
work obligations. That's talking about Sierra shaking her behind, going doing music videos, grinding on chairs and music stands. We're talking about Tom Brady going to practice how many days a week, having a bad attitude, going to games and all of those other things. Still obligations, right? She is saying, hey, our relationship is transitioning to another stage. Russell is saying, hey, our relationship is transitioning to another stage. I think you need to forego some of your work relationships and work requirements for this relationship to work. I don't think it's fair in any any situation.
And let me put it in proper context.
The ass shaking is
let me put it in proper context, because I'm not saying that he should be going to her and saying, hey, I'm about to make you my wife, need to change your ways. Because I asked you this, said, but when you got married, it's certain things that you didn't have to have a conversation with your wife to change about you, that you was going to stop and start doing now. She ain't have to come and say, you know, I want you paying the bills this way. You know, I want you getting up for church. It's certain things that you took on and said, I'm a husband now. I'm going to do this because I want to, because I feel about this woman. She ain't got to come and tell me shit. You know, and just same with Sierra. Russell Wilson is making this money that providing, well, baby, that 5 to 10% that you bring in, we don't really need that. He can say that in his head. He ain't got to go have a conversation. She can say, you know what? I'm looking at the finances. You just bought this house. You just got this contract. I sacrifice this for you because look what you did for me. I come to you with a rapper nigga child that talk about sipping codeine and fucking hoes. That's what I come to you with. So you ain't got to have no conversation with me and say, baby, change. I want to because I adore you.
See, I disagree.
So hold on. But answer the question. You telling me it ain't things that you was doing prior to that you ain't just say, you know what? I ain't gonna do that no more. Okay.
And let me tell you why. So even in, fuck it.
Hold on now. You go?
I'm gonna go. So even like dating, right?
Yeah.
When my wife was dating, she knew that I was dating other chicks. Like I'm on the phone with her, pulling up. Hey, yeah, I'm at my date house. I'm gonna hit you back.
But let me stop you right there. Are you dating other chicks now?
No, hold on. So this is where I'm finna go.
Okay.
You said I would do stuff because I know. That wasn't an I know conversation. That wasn't an I know thing. It was a conversation to be had, because even when you talk about provision, I told my wife, I said, when we was dating too, I said, I don't want you to think that I'm gonna be a provider all the time. And she's like, what does that mean? This before we had kids, anything. Yeah. I was like, I'm a nigga that'll quit a job in a minute and sit around for 6 months. Are you okay with that? She said, I don't know. I gotta think about it. I said, well, I'm putting it out there because I know traditionally that ain't what men supposed to do. But I know me. If I don't like a job, fuck it. And I might sit around and I might need you to support me for 6 months. Are you okay with that? These are the type of conversations we had, because I had to ask her, what does a husband even look like for you? Because I don't know.
Great question.
I don't even know what your idea of a husband is. For one of the reasons I answered that question, because your parents got divorced when you were 6. So you really didn't come up really seeing a man. And then when your parents were together, your dad was deployed in the military, so he was even though he was in Germany, all these other places. So you never seen your mom and dad really work together, so you know what the relationship is. Yeah. So that was one of the questions that I asked. And then another thing is, my parents always they used to drive this home to me and my brother. Don't mimic your mother, our relationship to yours. Mm-hmm. My daddy used to always say, you can make your own traditions. You can make your own family, whatever, holiday. You can make your own. That's the whole point of having a family. You do not have to mimic what me and your mother has here. Me and your mother, it looks like this because this what works for us. Mm-hmm. So when I ask those type of questions, like, baby, what does it look like? Because that drives in my head all the time. Like, people relationships look different. Like, for instance, me and my wife, we was going to the strip club a lot when we first got together. We'll go with other married couples and dating couples. And I had to say, hey, before we get in here, don't try to keep up with me because me and my wife, we good. I'm going to go slap on some ass and throw some money. And she probably going to come here and throw some money with me. And we're going to have a good fucking time. If you finna go home and your bitch is finna be mad at you because you just slapped on some ass because you trying to think you're going to be cool with me or trying to impress me, don't do it because my relationship is different. I know couples that if they go to strip club, they got to sit right here with his hands in his lap. I'm like, what the fuck is you here for? Yeah. Like, you know, so like I said, I don't think I have a traditional relationship either because a lot of stuff that, like, even in the Red Pill movie, they say, well, when your wife makes more money than you or she gets all these degrees, you know, it's subject to divorce. Like, you can look at all the stats, the degree women, higher rates of divorce. My wife came to me and she said, baby, last year, she said, baby, I'm thinking about getting another degree. It's gonna make me have more money. Mm-hmm. I said, oh, you want to do that? I said, well, how much more money would it be? How long would it be? And how much time is that going to take from the house? Well, it's only a year, and I'm probably going to be able to put 25 more racks in my pocket. Hey, go to school. That's what I said, go to school. And that doesn't make me scared because she's getting more degree and potentially might make more money than me in the next year or so. That doesn't, because I also come from a different ideology. And I feel like I talk enough with my wife. I've been around men, they don't even have conversations with their wife enough. That's what I was going to point out. She came to you and she had you in pocket and in mind. Yeah. So she came, to get your, thoughts about it. Because if you would have said something different, she probably said, okay, but I see what you're saying. We can use that time here at the house. I'm a disregard. That's why I said in some of these conversations, I look at it like a Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe. I used to hate Kobe, but now I look at his legacy and I love him. Mm-hmm. I don't think Kobe, his rookie year, came in with the mentality, but when he saw opportunity to be a leader, he took it. The coach ain't have to come say, hey, Kobe, you want to come in 2 hours before practice and run 2 miles? You want to stay 2 hours later, shoot an extra 600 jump shots? That's why I'm looking at the top because we want to be the best. When you look at, that's why I say you look at all this visibility that your man has, as you have as a woman. It's always like, well, damn, what can I do to make him, feel a little bit more secure? You ain't gonna tell me no man in the world say, yeah, man, when I see my girl doing the silhouette challenges, you can see ass and titty prints. That make me feel good, dog. Yeah. But I disagree on that one because we got a whole thing called a trophy wife. What niggas is literally. I said majority, not a few. I'm talking 51%. You may find 40%, 30%. I'm talking about the majority. I done seen niggas on everyday. I have everyday niggas when they girl got a fat ass, they want to walk through the mall with they bitch and walk behind her and look at niggas. Look at her. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying the majority. Go ahead. Do not want their woman paraded around and sexually objectified by strange men. See, my majority. I wouldn't want this is me. I wouldn't want her if she's not like that to start doing that. But if I meet a woman, because I know a couple right now, he met a girl and she's always dressed. She got a big old ass, big round. So you want your chick to put her ass and all this on the internet? No, mine never done that. But I'm saying defending it. No, I'm not defending it. What I'm saying for the couple's sake. That's what we talking about. The couple's sake. That couple now he got with her because he liked the way that ass hang out at the bottom of the shorts when he's saying this shit. Yeah. But now it's like, hey, baby, put it up. And one of the issues they having is like she don't know when to turn it off. So now when I'm going around my mama, you still wearing these tight ass shirts, low cut shirts and shit like that. Like you don't know when to turn it off. But it's like, how can you tell a person to turn something off that's always had it on? Like people, we'd had a conversation like this. Yeah. If I got generations of motherfuckers doing this shit and I done seen it, if you get a woman like that and her mama that way, her sister that way, what make you think just because you laying dick in her, she gonna change?
I understand that. See, that's why I say I want to make sure this is the context that I'm speaking in. I don't want it to be where he has to go to her to have this conversation. The goal would be because he's out in the field. She stay at home, mama. She doing that. She ain't doing it to the level Russell is. She got all these kids. She stay at home. She's a mother of multiple children. My man shouldn't have to come to me and tell me this. I got access to this, and I know you on this phone seeing what the commentary is. You ain't no fool. You looking at the comments. You looking at the conversations behind this. Let me make sure I make my man look the best he can be. Talking about me shaking my head that's bringing in 3% income under the sake of my career. That's not necessary. I'm looking at necessaries. We don't need this. We need this NFL contract. So we bought 4 houses and we got 5 kids and we want the best. We need your income. We don't need you twerking ass, baby. We don't need it.
Yeah, but you missing.
Nah, you missing my point. I don't have to come. I shouldn't have to come to you when I'm finna. Hey, you know you about to be site director. I'm gonna come to you. About to get a $150,000 increase. You're gonna come to work early. They ain't gonna have to tell you that. You're gonna stay late. They ain't gonna have to tell you that. You're gonna have to be dressed to the T. They ain't gonna have to tell you that.
I think if I'm doing some shit already, and it's mine, it's mine. It makes me happy to do this. I don't give a damn what you say. Now, if I wasn't doing it and I just up and did it, then that's the conversation. Because where does change come from? But if I've always been, I get it. You talking about necessary, but hell, it's not really necessary for Russell to really sign another contract because they got so much money. It really ain't necessary for them to have another baby. Like, there's a lot of shit that really just ain't necessary, but they doing it.
Again, because what you initially saying is titles don't matter and they don't have no weight, and it don't. I said essentially. Because if I make you a wife or whatever, or I make you the CEO,
did I not say they look different?
I said essentially. It conveys a message. If you are an entry-level employee and they say they finna make you site manager, if you're gonna act like the rest of the niggas in here, why would I go get Tony?
Well, if Russell wanted a girl,
I'm gonna just go get
work, he would just get a girl who didn't work.
You gonna keep doing the same shit? Oh, I'm gonna go get Tony because he wanna be the general manager. You wanna act like a nigga that's making $18.75 an hour versus $250 a year? You gonna still bring them same habits, same dress?
Goes back to a previous conversation we had because we had differing opinions, right? Me and Seth agree you should date somebody that you like, right? And not try to date somebody that you want to really change later on.
That's why it ain't about my change.
That's what you're talking about.
Because I'm gonna tell you, you're saying when we in the stream, what's your saying?
When you raise the barrier of entry, right? So entry, not already here and going, and then we gonna raise it when we're already going.
But what's the last part?
When you raise the barrier of entry, you force the standard to rise.
So if you come in making $18.75 an hour, your behaviors as $18.75 to where I'm finna make you GM shouldn't look alike. And I shouldn't have to have a conversation.
Come in as a GM. When you raise the barrier, okay, listen.
I'm an entry worker.
When you raise the barrier of entry, which means when you come in, this is where we are. You force the standard to rise to that occasion, not when you get here and then we're going to figure it out and then rise it later. That's not how that saying goes.
People don't go into these jobs as CEO, Ashanti. I'm talking about going from one position to the next. That's what I'm speaking about.
Hold on. I'm going to say this. We're going to go back to this.
Okay.
And I just like, I've been reading my Bible a lot. And so I'm just going to use my Bible. They say, when you find a wife, you find a good thing.
Yeah.
So typically you're finding your wife. It ain't necessarily her title is changing. She's already there. That's why you're dating her for so long or whatever. And that's why you commence with the sex. She's already there. So when you talk about the 1875 and you're going to change her title, yeah, legally you
about to open up a can of worms again.
Yeah, but legally, yeah. But when you find a wife, she's already a wife. When you find
her. Do words have meanings?
Yeah, they do.
Does my wife come with another rapper nigga child? Does a wife, anybody's wife?
Russell Wilson's does.
No, does
I answered your question, Russell.
So
Wilson's
the title of CEO for Stellantis and the CEO title for Apple it means different. When I say I'm the CEO.
Yeah, it means different. And you know why?
How?
Because one of them sell cars, one of them sell
No. The title. and what the duties are of the company.
I'm guarantee you the duty of a Solange and the duty of an Apple is going to be different. They hold the same title.
I ain't saying the duty is going to be different. I said the title.
You just said the title.
CEO is CEO.
Right.
Chief Executive Officer. That's the same across the board.
You asked about the duties. That was your next thing. You said
it's not going to be the same as different industries. I'm saying what your main, you have a certain role as CEO.
Right.
You're going to be in the lobby meetings. You're going to do a bunch of.
I don't necessarily know what CEOs do, but when you talk about the industries, that's basically what I'm saying. You have the same title.
Like a coach. Let's say like a coach for hockey and a coach for basketball. What's their duty? To do what? Coach the players, not teach, because they got different skills. It's different objectives in baseball, football, and basketball. Okay. So it's a coach.
You want to use coach?
Yeah.
You want to stay there
on sports, baseball, hockey, NFL. Okay.
Just use a coach.
Coach.
Yeah. Coach.
Head coach.
We ain't gonna move nowhere else.
Head coach.
We're not moving nowhere. Y'all, people out to watch. We're not moving nowhere else.
Yeah.
We went to Stellantis. Now we at coach. Okay, coach.
Coach.
You heard that, coach, right?
Different sports.
How many people, coaches, use the triangle offense?
I already debunked that. I said it's different sports. So how can I use a triangle offense in baseball? What's the duties of the coach? Is to coach the players, no matter what sport. You don't do triangle offense in baseball because it's a diamond and it's one white ball that you with a bat.
Okay.
Let's just go with one coach of basketball.
No, because let's break it down. Let's break it down because I said the coach title. If I'm the head coach if I take a head coach in hockey, a head coach in football, a head coach in basketball, it ain't no way in hell a baseball coach would be talking about running a triangle offense. It ain't no way it's gonna even be applicable. The duty is gonna be discussed is, am I gonna make these players great and coach the players?
So the duties
across the board.
So the duties of all sports is the same.
Coach the players. Coach the players. Yes.
And they look and all.
It don't look the same. No.
Okay.
But the duty is to coach the players.
What you just said is what I'm saying.
I'm talking about the titles.
It doesn't look the same.
I know it doesn't, but the title is the same, and the responsibility is to coach the players. You're not going to teach offense on baseball.
And the reason it's going to look
it's going to be coaching the players. I ain't talking about what the end game going to look because it's different sports. The duty is to coach the players. That's where we are.
The duty of a wife, or the definition, is a married woman considered in relation to her spouse.
I get
so
it.
If she is married, she has met her duty.
Words have meaning, so we got the definition right there. That's what I'm saying. What a wife look like to me don't look like to you. That's why when you talk about the coaches and they coach different players. Different players gonna cause different shit to come out. You ain't gonna coach us even if we go.
The argument though.
The coach is the coach the players.
Coach duties is the coach the players.
Duties. The duties are going to be different, even if
I know it is,
sports,
but they're going to coach.
Players, all of them. You even said they look.
It's going to be different, but it's good. The role is to coach the players, not go into the details. The role is to coach. It's going to look different in baseball, hockey, and football because it's different skill sets. It's different objectives.
Hold on. I think the duties of a wife.
Hold on, real quick. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You know why I agree with you? Because the title of a wife is just to be a wife. Just like you said, it's the same thing across the board. Every nigga that got a wife, that's his wife. Whatever the duties is, gonna look different.
Now, I don't have no problem with preference. I get that, but I'm saying the duty.
I have the duties of a wife.
Well, we're not talking about the duties of a wife because it's gonna be skewed. It's a laundry list, just like husband. So I'm saying
these are the general duties of a wife right here. All right, so we got
general. This is what we go to. We got to talk about generals now.
General.
Okay, go ahead.
Encourage her husband, respect him, emotional support, caring and compassionate, household management, living with husband, love your husband, partnership, avoid comparing him to other husbands, be honest, communication, companionship, be her husband's best friend and lovers, love and support, spiritual encouragement, and submit to her husband.
I'm gonna ask you this before you go. Do our divorce rate and current dating dynamic resemble what you just said?
I mean, it just depends on what people are getting divorced.
We got a 70% divorce rate in the Black community, which about 80 to 90 are filed by the woman. Domestic violence, child support, paternity fraud, to where now they're saying upwards to 30 to 40% of married men are really not the father of every child in the house.
I gotta ask you a question.
Again, but hold on, let you go.
I got a great go.
If we looking at what you just stated, does our current family dynamic resemble that?
Well, that's what I want to ask you.
Okay.
Can Sierra give him all that shit and shake her ass?
No. Because you said respect.
That might be respectful for him.
He may not feel disrespected.
I don't.
Apparently, he don't. He be commenting on it. He be in the back of the video.
He might not feel disrespect. You would feel disrespect.
Okay, let me ask you this: Do couples have domestic violence and violence in the home? So, this wife might be okay with me knocking her motherfucking head through the washer. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. For my wife to go to the motherfucking pick my son up with a black eye like a plum.
Yes, because I know women.
Man, come on, dog.
I know some women that say
that's okay. If my wife allowed me to kick her ass, that's okay.
We both just say,
is it okay?
She has not expressed it.
Is it okay?
Any authority?
Is it okay? Yes or no?
The law has not been broken.
No. I'm asking you personally. Is it okay if my wife allows me to kick her ass? Is it okay?
Is she comfortable?
I haven't seen left. Is it okay though?
If it's okay for her, then let her ride out. That's y'all relationship.
No, this is
if your girl came to you ass kicked, broke arm, shiner, big as a tomato.
I have had a friend.
Go back.
Friend.
You tell her to go back to him.
I have had a friend that has gone through exactly that. I took to the hospital.
And you told? Okay? Did you tell her to go back to him?
This is what I told her. If this is the relationship you decide to go forward with, I no longer can be connected to you, but it is your decision whether you want to stay with him or leave. And that is what I did.
Why you didn't want to be connected?
Because I'm not finna come around and take you to the hospital and get knocked out. I'm not okay with it. You're okay with living with him. You're okay.
I know what I'm saying.
Hold on. If you asked us personally,
that's what I did.
We're not okay with it. But you hold on.
You said for your person.
This is what you said. So it's a woman out there that's getting a whoop. That's what you said. You
said I kicked my wife ass. I said I use me.
Yes. So if my friend wants to be with an abuser, if that is a comfortable decision for her, I don't want to be connected.
Because I've been cool with a nigga that was in a relationship that was abusive, and I'm like, I asked him, I said, "You cool with this?" He's like, "Well, we had great sex." I was like, "Well, shit, it is what it is." And I just left it alone. I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't care. I said, for me, I wouldn't be there. But he had the conversation. And some women have even said, "I don't even feel like a man loved me until he beat my ass."
We didn't have that conversation.
So if some women are equating ass whoopings to love, and we all think love is this grandiose Disney fairy tale shit that we all want to feel one day. So if the bitch want to feel the same way we want to feel with a black eye, who are we to say that's wrong? We got women that say they feel that you ain't gotta agree. This is what the women have said. I don't feel love until I'm getting my ass beat. You done been in love before, it felt good, right?
Yeah.
I done been in love, felt good. Shonda, you been in love, felt good? Okay, so she feel like that's part of her love. It feels good. It's okay then.
We agree.
Okay, but I'm just saying, we always say the love feels good, right? She want a black eye to feel love. She want her teeth knocked out. She want to fight Mike Tyson every motherfucking night. I don't give a fuck.
This is prime Essence New Normal podcast. I think we need to do a panel on this. This is a great topic because I think we need to get into that because what show is, and I'm with the mind your business and stuff. I'm with that. If you like it, I love it. I am with that to a degree. However, it's certain things that we all know. If we was to see our parents go through it or our loved ones, we wouldn't be okay with it under the guise of them being okay with it.
And you know why? Because I agree with that sentiment that you just said. I agree with that.
So how can we say it's wrong because we love them versus this stranger that we don't know? It's okay.
Let me tell you something. Because if I see my baby fall off a fucking bike, I'm like, damn, my son just fall back. But if I watch a little kid on YouTube fall back, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
In person, at the park.
I didn't laugh my ass off in person.
I mean, I get.
Ashley said you have shared before your relative went through something like that, right? And they still stayed a family. Yeah. You know what I mean? That relative was okay with it, and even though y'all didn't like it, you didn't interfere in that, right? And
just on some personal shit. My granddad used to be my grandma's ass.
You talk about that, yeah,
all the time. Like never left, never wanted to go nowhere. Yeah. Part of their relationship.
Yeah.
It's part of their relationship. So much so that he hit her one time. She fell and had to get a glass eye. She hit her eye on the corner of the table. That type of that's a scream. Your eye get knocked out. You got to get a glass eye.
That's very extreme. But I get that people have their own issues. I'm just saying is just because it's their own doesn't mean I'm going to be okay with it or I should accept it or acknowledge it and not say, hey, that ain't right.
But I'm not saying any of that. I agree with that. Would you
said it's okay for them if she love it.
If she loves it. But for me, I'm not okay with any of that. So I agree on that aspect. But I say if a woman comes in here and tells me, and she says, yes, I feel love when he beats my ass, I'm just going to internalize that as, damn, I like to be in love too. But I don't know about being in love to get my ass whooped, so I'm not going to think about it too much. But I just know how good love feels. I remember watching Disney and Cinderella and all of that shit. Damn, she had to lose a shoe, and they was going through heartache, and Rapunzel had to let her motherfucking hair down. Niggas had to fight dragons and all the little shit, woo woo. And that was part of love. Niggas had to go through the ups and downs. And in the black community, we believe in struggle love. So part of struggle love, it's the ups and downs and the being broke and the cheat and all. This is what we believe in our community. We got actual term called struggle love. And we all have said we don't want to struggle to be in love, but we've all been in love and we all said we like love. But in our community, we had this thing called struggle love, and people just are okay with it. So I don't know why all of a sudden when we come to the beating the ass part, we just act like people can't be in love while getting their ass beat, or that's just the nature of their relationship. I think it's kind of wild when we got a thing called struggle love in our community.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
And I know we got off topic. This just like I said, we do these tangents. Make sure y'all like the page, subscribe to the channel. We'll be on this all.
If y'all watch it, do you think a woman can be in love? Anybody, because in the black community it's mutual. Do you think a person can be in love and get their ass beat, or feel like they need to get their ass beat to be in love?
Again, okay, that's just isolated. I'm using that, getting cheated on, whatever emotional abuse.
Whatever. I'm just using anything. That's why I said the struggle, whatever the struggle is, under this umbrella of struggle, we have that in our
I'm not saying you can't beat her. I'm just saying it's not okay.
For me, it ain't. And that's what I keep telling you. Everything you have said, I agree with on a personal level. But if it's a motherfucker that I don't know, I see her walk with a black eye and like a nigga beat her ass, I'm minding my motherfucking business because that's what she want to do.
Because if we're going to go that route, it's a lot of stuff I don't agree with. I've had friends who they was taking care of their man.
I know niggas that was fucking married. I don't believe in fucking married chicks, but I know niggas that fuck married chicks, and we still cool to this day. There's a lot of shit that we will be associated with people that we won't be okay with and won't agree with, but some people live different lifestyles. A lot of people call it, alternative lifestyles or whatever. They got all these different fucking names for shit nowadays.
So if he want to be married to a Sierra and he cool with her shaking her behind, it's the same comparison.
I get that, but that's why I say the point was missed. I'm taking him out of it. Let's say we don't even mention Russell Wilson. That's why I use.
That was Albert Roma. See, now you're taking Albert Roma out the argument.
No. Well, this is what I'm doing, because this is why I pulled up Kobe and the greats. I said, if I'm going to a corporation, because we have a lot of success stories. I've been with the company 20 years. I've been with the company 30 years. We now work corporate America jobs, and we hear these testimonies with the higher ups. Yeah, I gave this company 20 years before I got here. What I'm saying is the difference between this person versus the other 1,000 that they could have picked from was a duty that did not have to be had a conversation. The coach, Phil Jackson, or whoever, didn't have to go to Kobe and say, come to work 2 hours early and run 2 more miles so you can play 48 minutes. I didn't have to say shoot 300 jump shots after practice. Those are conversations that don't have to be had. I'm saying if I adore you, I'm on internet, I see what they're saying about me. I don't like what they're saying. Let me stop. Is that a solution? Well, I see what they're saying about you, babe. Let me stop doing it so they'll stop saying it. Chris, is that an option?
But yes, it's an option to stop.
Okay, that's my point.
I don't know why you missing our point.
I got y'all point. It's not about Russell. It's about her. I see what these people are saying about my husband over the things I'm doing. Let me stop.
I don't know if that's always the majority of what she sees, though.
I'm not saying majority of what she.
Okay, but what I'm saying, you're saying
it's being said.
Let me take into account the comments.
Yes.
In general.
Yes.
Maybe she's not seeing an affluent amount of comments that are negative. There are people that love her relationship. Love it so much so that there is a song out there called Sierra's Prayer, and there ain't even nobody singing on the song.
I'm asking you this. What demographic love her relationship?
I would say black people.
Black who?
Women.
They have what?
I'm not sure.
Kids by other niggas.
I mean, possibly that. I love her. I have 0 kids.
Again, I'm talking about the majority.
I'm around a lot of women that don't have kids. It depends on what your community is. I don't know a lot of single parents. There are a community of people out here who only are surrounded by single parents. I went to a school where I didn't go to school with a lot of people in broken homes. There are people who only went to school with people with their mothers. Your community is derived around people that are that you're in close proximity of.
I can agree to that. However,
so yes, that's why our opinions are different.
We know people have certain listen to Future. People that go to church every Sunday, Bible study and shit, do missions in out of country. Those Future's biggest fans, right? That's his demographic. That when he put music out, yeah, I got 3,000 missionaries. They're going to Jerusalem. They're going in the hood to feed the family. That's his demographic. Yes or no?
No, I wouldn't say.
What's Future demographic? Who is target audience? Who bumping Future?
Probably black men, young black men.
That do what? Who bumping Pooh Shiesty?
I don't know. I listen to Future a lot. And I don't do
Who bumping Pooh Shiesty?
I don't know. I don't listen to Pooh Shiesty.
Young trouble youth.
Probably so.
Majority. So let's not act like these people don't have certain audiences. That's why you just admitted it. They love Sierra and Russell Wilson because the savior aspect, the Sierra's prayer. I got a baby's out of wedlock and yada yada yada. So I want to Russell too. You got women saying I want to Russell.
Okay, so let's be clear. When we talk about that aspect from the women's aspect, that's why we talk about the savior. But when we talk about the Russell Wilson and you talk about disrespect, you got to go back to this. And it's not a hard concept. He may not feel disrespected.
We're not talking about him.
You might feel disrespected because that was our barometer. That's how we got here.
I said she should be having that internal conversation without him having to come to her saying, I feel disrespected, because even though she may not see a majority or a flood,
okay, so
she's been exposed and seen some of the conversations that's based on my behavior. What they say?
How do you know that they ain't had that conversation?
Because
you say he's coming.
What's the last video? What's his date?
I don't know. So
we had the conversation 6 minutes ago? Because the video a week old. So we had the conversation today. Again,
you probably seen the video before it came out.
Well, no. You said, how do we know they didn't have a conversation?
Yeah, how do you know that they didn't have a conversation? She said, baby, how do you feel about these videos? How do you know that he ain't? How do you know that he ain't okay? Because as a matter of fact, he was on there on an interview talking about when I seen Sierra on this video with Future, I liked that video, and that's when I knew I had to have him. He said that when she on the song with her baby daddy. So I just think when we have these conversations, a lot of people are different. We got a whole thing called cuckolding, where niggas let other niggas fuck their bitch and watch it. We got Diddy on trial doing this. So I'm saying, like, we have so many facets of relationship. It is crazy for me to sit here and argue with you about a wife, what a wife looks like, because I've always been driven in my head from my parents. Your wife ain't got to do what and me and my wife had this conversation. My wife does absolutely a move nothing like my mother. And that's not a bad thing, but she doesn't do anything like my mother. And she always say, she'll make a little statement. She's like, yeah, I want to, I see what your mama do, how your mama moves. So I want to kind of mimic that. But I tell her, I'm not with you. I'm dating my mother. If I wanted somebody like my mother, I can go find out. I wanted what you do, what my wife does, being a professional, making money, is kind of what I wanted in my life. I wanted somebody to make money. We can make money. We can start doing investing and work together and tell them on some business shit. Let's go get this money. I didn't want nobody that wanted to be a homemaker, cooking, decorating the house, and all. That ain't shit I don't need that shit. Like, as long as the house peaceful and you ain't running around, you go to work, make the money, I'm happy. I don't need a lot of shit.
I mean, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
And I don't want to be the dead horse. What's some of those comments, Chance?
It's kind of like spam comments, but this one is
just
if we're gonna get on Tyler Perry for making money off Black trauma, we got to keep the same energy with trap rappers.
I agree 100%.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
that.
But like I told you earlier, I said I'm not mad at Tyler Perry because a lot of niggas is drunk off emotion, and then white people and other people can exploit black emotions to get $1. Why the black man can't?
That's why I don't really get mad at let's say the offender or whatever the case may be. It's us.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Because if the consumer, because you could put some. We talked about going to Walmart. It's 1,000 brands of cookies. Motherfucker like Chips Ahoy, Keebler. You get to pick off that what you consume. So I just provide. Yeah. So it's up to me to say that don't really reflect, that don't depict who I am or my community. So that's why I say it's up to us to say, hey, dog, you gotta cut that shit out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think also to add
shout
on
out to her son. What up, her son? I ain't seen in a minute.
Yeah.
I think also to add to that conversation that Jay said, we also have to put that same energy on other media that we consume too, because it's negative across the board.
GTA.
Possibly that, but I'm thinking
that.
like Baddies on Zeus Network.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? We have a lot of people that love that show. Though that's real people. They're going across the country. They're taking Americans, right? We're already viewed a certain way, politically, socially, all of those things, to Africa, to other countries, fighting, causing a scene, recording it, just showing us in mass chaos. They have hundreds of followers, right? Hundreds of people that tune in. They come to the auditions to fight other people they do not know. Mm-hmm. They put it on TV. People watch it. Tyler Perry gets actors and actresses that are pulling together a fictitious story that gets more hate than someone actually going out and doing those real things in real time, causing harm, chaos, all kind of things.
Well, do you think that's because of the people behind, like a Netflix is on everybody's TV compared to a news station? Everybody ain't watching the news. You get what I'm saying?
Well, okay, that is true. We have things like World Star, who has gone viral for having, of course, videos.
But do people still watch World Star?
I get enough time.
Yeah, people do. People do. They have music videos, but they also have videos. Who doesn't remember Sharkeisha?
Yeah, Sharkeisha, no.
Yes, you know, that's ingrained.
That shit out randomly. I said that shit like 2 days ago.
It's ingrained in our mind because of those videos. Yeah. And then we have media where a lot of people highlight negative things about Black people. Yeah. And when they go to Netflix and Netflix ain't looking like, oh, well, what's the climate going to be? What's the numbers going to be? Yeah. Is this going to be beneficial not only to you, but to our platform? This controversy has caused so many people who probably weren't going to watch the show anyways to go and watch it. Yeah, because I never heard of it. I didn't even hear about it. Had my head in the clouds doing some other things. Right? The movie Straw. Yeah. I had no clue about it. Justin called me and was like, he wanted to talk about postpartum depression because the movie had something to do with it, and he wasn't going to watch the movie. I watched the movie and I said, hey, the movie has nothing to do with postpartum depression. It has, these other things. So there are conversations that are happening. People are going to watch the movie.
Cut you off. Where's the part that he said the postpartum depression in it?
He was reading it like he was reading some comments on the post.
He reading in between the lines the reason why she acting like that.
That's what some people were coming up with. Okay. And I told him, I said, if they actually watch the movie, they show her not at a hospital, no infancy, no pregnancy photos or videos or anything about a traumatic experience after birth. We don't see the father in the picture. So, and the girl is like 9 or 8 years old.
I think she's 7 years old.
7 years old.
Yeah.
So postpartum would be far-fetched to derive when we have nothing to support that. But the only reason I watched it is because of that conversation. And I was like, well, if you're not gonna watch it, we're gonna be talking about postpartum depression. Somebody has to have like insight about what the movie is. Mm-hmm. I watched it. I'm like, this has nothing to do with that. But if I had not done that, like if those conversations weren't had, it wouldn't have sparked people to say, let me go watch it for myself and see if I get the postpartum or get whatever caveat they're throwing out about the movie. So the conversation now, even us, we're contributing to somebody being like, let me go watch the movie. And that's going to continue to push Netflix saying, hey, we'll renew you for another show, another movie.
Yeah, but that goes back to what you were saying. You got to stop consuming. The consumers is the issue.
Right. But go ahead. No, I was gonna say that was the last video. Did I say?
That was the last video.
Okay. I think this is a great conversation as far as, because like I said, we're talking about a lot of stuff. We're talking about standards. We're talking about.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's got my bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
So that's what we need to get the older chicks that went down the hall. They want to talk about what the fuck does a wife look like?
Talking about the one you're talking about.
The one down the hall.
Okay, yeah.
What the
you
fuck?
talk to her?
Yeah.
Get her on there.
Yeah, we got her friend married. There's a couple of them that she said to bring her that's married.
That's one
and like I said, what does a wife look like?
Yeah, like I said, that's why I say that's why I always look at I try to be to the point.
Hold on.
Okay.
The girl too said, I don't cook and I don't clean, but I still got that ring.
Again, I was describing no motherfucking Cardi B. But I just like to like let's say our studio, we got a great team.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We support each other. And I love that to where, hey man, I seen the I ain't telling you this. Like I say, man, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up. I'm gonna go get this. I know we need this. Yeah, I don't want y'all to come and say, hey, can you get this? Can you get that? Hey, let me go and get it. I see it's a need. That's why I use the Kobe, and going back to the Sierra to where once we start taking on that, even if my partners Black businesses. I'm gonna tell you what I saw today, and I've been watching a lot of stuff for economics. This woman may have been Lebanese. She was something. She was Middle Eastern something. And she's in tech. She went to NYU. I'm seeing the video. I'm seeing all the video. And they talking about how hard the job market is. And she basically exposed the nepotism. She was like, well, my family has a background in medical. I got my degree in tech. And she said, I said, I really can't use my friends because my friends are kind of snaky. And she not a black woman. She like I said, white Lebanese. She's something like Middle Eastern. And she was like, yeah, my friends are kind of snaky. And me and Shante had this conversation. And I said, damn, I see my partner doing something, trying to do business. Share. Yeah. You ain't got to text me to share that shit. Share.
Right.
Like, comment.
Especially if you do social media shit.
Especially if you see it. That's why I go back. I don't want it to be the what, damn, man. You ain't gonna share my shit, man. I already did it, dog. Go check my store. I already shared it. You ain't had to come and tell me.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. So, but like I said, if y'all want to call in, we're gonna take some calls. If y'all want to call in and get your take on straw, put it in the comments. I still got, like I said, I only got 30% in. We may revisit it, we may not.
We don't need to revisit.
I don't think you don't think so.
Yeah.
We got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, miss it out.
Now, what I wanted to discuss that we didn't get to today, which we may say for either weekend.
Scroll down. Oh, there you go. Yeah. There you go.
Either for this weekend, Saturday or Monday, we got to get into Doug Christie and Chris Webber.
Chris Webber said that wasn't true. He came out and said it wasn't true.
Again, I want to get into it.
I got the video. I say it. He said
he's saying it, but from the look of Doug Christie, because I think he's suing him.
Jackie Christie's husband?
Yeah.
What happened?
They sent their daughter's Chris Webber daughter.
And they say she was cheating on him and all this, but she was accusing him.
Because you remember he got caught cheating, and that was a big thing. And then after she caught him cheating, she wanted to travel everywhere they went. So she traveled with the team and stuff. So it could happen because she is around them all the time. She traveling like everywhere with them after he got caught cheating.
Her grown kid? Kid?
Yeah, the grown one.
What?
They only got one daughter.
Because again, so
the daughter supposed to be Chris Webber daughter.
So I want to get into it
the Chris Webber daughter.
to confirm if it's true. Because I hope it's not a publicity stunt. Because we seen Joe Smith do something similar. But to file a suit, there's a lot of red tape you got to go through to sue somebody. You ain't just finna go and say, hey, sue them. It got to be some type of factual evidence presented to, because I got to pay my lawyer. Doug Christie ain't making NBA money no more. So the fact that he took, I got to go and confirm if it's a troll. Because, we see these antics and these, stunts that people do, like Kevin Gates and Brittany Renner. We can talk about that. Like, we know it, we can know when it's a stunt. Yeah. But to go do the paperwork and sue somebody, I got to go and see if this is some real shit. Because you just posted Gavin Newsom admitting that he slept with his campaign manager wife, right?
Right.
So we know this is Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
Tony Parker.
What that come and say, Ashanti?
We know.
Sorry.
Are you good?
Are you good? We know this a thing.
Yeah, I'm so interested to know about this DNA test.
Like I said, we know this a thing. Gavin Newsom, Tony Parker.
What his daughter look like?
Oh, she's light skinned. Didn't she have a mole? I remember her because she was going up against Drea.
Is she light skinned?
Yeah.
Christy ain't that dark. Now Chris Webber a black nigga, so.
Again, like I said, I want to make sure. I want to make sure it ain't a troll. But I kept seeing. I'm like, well, you got to go through some process to sue somebody.
Steve Nash.
Yeah, Steve Nash, Tony Parker, John Barry, all them guys. You got a bunch of this. This has happened.
But these are niggas that's marrying whores. They be knowing they whores.
I won't disagree with you.
So they know they whores.
But the thing is, I don't think they be knowing.
Chantel.
That's her name?
Yeah.
Chantel.
Does she look
like
she
about 26, 27?
Yeah, she's around that age. No, she's not. She's older than I am.
Oh, she like 30 something. Because Doug Christie played,
Yeah, Doug Christie been retired.
Yeah, they been retired. Yeah, like I said, shout out to y'all for tuning in. This was a heated debate.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all like the video and share. We said Chantel.
Chantel. She's 32.
Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
What's her last name?
Christie. It's Chantel.
Yeah, because we be seeing a lot. I'm like, man, this is stuff.
Yeah, she likes like.
Let me see.
She look like that's Doug Christie, baby.
I feel like she has his head.
Yeah, they both got that sideshow Bob face.
Yeah, like I said, I just want to go through it to make sure it ain't legit. Because if it's legit, I can. We done seen so many other examples.
I just say that shit on Twitter. Chris Webber talking about some bookmarks.
Yeah, I want to get into that, but New Normal Podcast, subscribe on the YouTube.
You're talking about
I'm gonna check it out. Like I said, I kept seeing I ain't get into all the details, but I just saw and he's suing him. I think you go through a suing process, you serious.
If that baby come out looking like that, that's crazy. But it could.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Again, we already got to know. Oh, they talking upwards to 40%.
What you mean?
Paternity fraud. But,
yeah.
Like
I would probably guarantee if he's gonna sue for defamation, he has confirmation that that's his kid.
That is Chris Webber's kid.
Well, like whoever is suing who.
Chris is suing Chris Webber.
Yeah, so he probably has confirmation. Like they've done a DNA test. This is my kid. You have defamed the name of my daughter and my wife's whatever.
Because what other
reputation?
If I got a suit, what's the first? We got top notch lawyers. What's the first evidence I would want in this type of situation?
DNA.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be the first thing.
That's to be the first thing. I ain't even gonna take the case.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna lose. And I don't even want the L or damn the money. I don't want to lose on my record. I still want to be at 98%. So we're gonna get into that. Like I said, we got a few other things. The lady having CPS. You saw that? I sent you that.
I ain't watching.
Oh, you ain't watching?
Somebody going live.
Somebody.
Oh, did you see the screamers? Bruh. So there's 2 screamers out in Arizona. One in Arizona.
Oh yeah, Nevada.
Yeah, he killed them on the script. Him and his wife on the script.
Shot him and his wife.
I was like, what?
Over a YouTube copyright beef.
They've been beefing for a year. And so they got these old backstory videos. So he was
Sin City.
He a street performer. So the dude's wife got into it with her.
Yeah.
And like he's pepper sprayed or something. So they've been beefing for a year.
Yeah.
So they would go to, they from Arizona, they would go to the strip, the Vegas strip, fucking with him, saying we in your city with the woo. So he get in the car, they got videos of him in the car, saying, I'm going to meet where we gonna meet at with the woo. So he walk up and dude was like, hey cuz, and the girl tried to stop, she get in front of him, he put
I sent you the video.
Pop.
Yeah. Shot him and his wife.
Him and his wife.
Did they pass?
Yeah,
they did.
It was like 2 3 days ago.
Just 3 days ago. Yeah, that's crazy. Sin City, Manny, or something like that.
Yeah.
We definitely gonna get into that. But
that was crazy. Y'all gotta leave folks the fuck alone.
Y'all better leave people alone.
So they were meeting up to do what? Like to fight?
Just to confront him. Confront him.
So the couple would come to Vegas. He's from that area. So basically, they would do that and go live and be like, I'm fucking with you. I'm in your city. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna pull up, that type of shit.
He trolled.
So they trolled him basically. So he pulled up on their ass and shot him.
Shot both of them. That's wild.
And it's like people take it too far where they're like gonna go to any extent to prove they're not gonna be done any kind of way, to the point where like he's about to go to jail.
See, the thing is,
and the lawsuit is no longer existent.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it's the views I think people get addicted to, because the dude, the wife and the husband was getting bigger off trolling him. So that was basically their whole content was just basically talking about him, talking about his family, talking about his wife, talking about how short he was. They were just like just talking about, because I went to the dude page. He got years worth of content talking about this man. This man never said anything about him, and he's a bigger YouTuber. I got like 50,000 views and stuff, like 50,000 subscribers. Like he's decent YouTuber and stuff. But they were talking about how his wife was going bald because they were stressing her out and all of this type of stuff. I'm like, bro, y'all gotta leave folks alone.
Leave people alone,
yeah.
man.
Alone.
Y'all don't want to call. Like I said, we want y'all to call in. We want to hear your thoughts, perspectives on some of the stuff we discuss on the podcast.
Yeah, do you believe Sierra need to stop grinding on chairs and mic stands and be a wife, or do you feel like she could be a wife and do both?
If I dated Sierra, I wouldn't give a damn. Hey, shake that ass, baby. I mentioned shaking.
And just
ass.
to talk about, you said I'm not like my mom. Like I guess personality wise, we had some similarities, but when my mom was my age, she was at home with her kids, married, not working. You know what I mean? Like, and I definitely don't live a lifestyle like that.
But did you want that? Like, some people glamorize and see their parents like, I want that. Like, I looked at my parents' relationship, and it was never something that I'm like, it was good. Like, I grew up in a good home. It was good, peaceful. Mm-hmm. I never seen nothing, but it was like, I just wanted, I'm gonna be honest, I think my parents' relationship was a little too boring for me.
I think at one point in time I did, and I still like a lot of their dynamics.
Yeah.
I don't think I just want to be at home though. Like I like what I do now. I want to continue to do that. I do want to be home with my kids. Like when I do have kids, I want to prioritize that. Yeah. But I still want to have the freedom to go out and be able to work. And I want my kids to be proud of things that I've accomplished too. See,
I think we've had a conversation about this too, and we might have said something about another chick. We getting a little on there. We're talking about another chick that was trying to do kind of content, but trying to get married. and it's not working out.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
But you talked about the switch.
Yeah, it's
right?
all about the switch now. So, like I said, I think that you have to find a guy that's going along in the same manner where you will be going. If it's a guy that want to sit at home and wants you to sit down, that ain't gonna work because you like, nigga, you met me doing this content. If he insecure, knowing you're gonna be around bigger names and in these circles, got to work late, maybe have to go to a club or appearance, and he just wants you to be a homebody taking care of kids, that would be crazy to be.
I'm gonna say something controversial before we end.
Go ahead. We're gonna end on this note right
here. And I think this where a lot of relationships I see, like I look at 2 Chainz and I think a few others. I think a lot of women, if they was to get with a guy that they would be happy with, no matter if he didn't marry. Got Colin?
Go ahead, finish that.
Okay. If he didn't or didn't marry her, it'll still be okay. If this chick is solely looking to be married, what she would do is have this time, and it may not be going against according to her timeline, and she'll abandon. Now I got to go back in the field and hope to get something similar that I like.
Yeah.
He may want the situation, but do I like him? Do I like everything that come with him? Or do I just want this title?
Yeah.
So, but let's take his caller.
You're on with the New Normal Podcast. Who do we have calling us today?
Shoot. This is your boy, Toast Making Shots Taker Post Taker. This is your great star brother, Ashton. What's good, Brody? And Stones, what's good?
Hey.
What's happening, Brody?
Chilling, man. Man, y'all got me weak at work, bro. But, but no, man, like I'm glad that you did watch some of the movie, Chris, because I'm like, I just can't stomach myself watching another Tyler Perry movie, bro. That's probably dead, bro.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think that Tyler Perry does. He has a simple audience. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that his audience is.
Did you hear what you was in the text with him when I said that? I said low budget films for low budget bitches.
Right.
Yeah, you did say that.
and I don't think that his audience has the gumption enough to challenge him to create more, I guess, like diverse, material. I don't know if y'all had saw my comments earlier in the show, but he had actually did an interview like a years back talking about I write all my stuff, like even for a show like Sisters, which I've never watched it, but he says that he writes all his productions by himself, and he does like these quick turnarounds. But I think when he does that, I think that he lacks, the ability to have a different perspective, and then to have, people to kind of like challenge like what he's writing, and even just having just continuity. When you talk about just how a lot of his productions are written and how they just kind of like are all over the place. When you have a writer's team, you're able to bounce off ideas and you're able to have a richer quality versus just having this rushed production that he's having on these television shows and movies. And as far as like, when y'all talking about the whole wife thing, right? I think, I forget we had this conversation probably like a few weeks ago, but I think, you may have a different nuance as far as like how your wife operates and like what you as an individual husband may want out of your spouse. But I think there is a baseline of like how that person should be. And I think it builds on top of that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for example, one of my homeboys, he like to see his wife, dress up real sexy and stuff, right? For me, I'm like, hey, bro, I don't need you trying to, show off your cakes to the whole world. I prefer modesty. You know what I'm saying? He like to show off. I kind of like you to, be tasteful, if I can say that, be tasteful. And I feel like when we use the comparison of like Sierra or like Russell Wilson, I think, man, once you become like a wife, and more importantly, a mama, you know what I'm saying? It would be different if they was like just them two. But I think the fact that she's a mom, I hate the excuse of, well, she's an entertainer, so she gotta, you know what I'm saying, dance like that. No, she don't. That's all she knows.
I do want to say this too. Like her work that she just put out is synonymous to other work she's done. So, like, she is a mom now, but wouldn't they have the same, if they had a negative opinion about this video, when they have a negative opinion about her whole career, with the videos that have those kind of sexy elements to it?
Are you asking, do women have that type of reaction to her work?
No, I'm saying like with her, you saying she's a mother, right? And so, you know, her kids shouldn't have, shouldn't see her in those ways, but she has a career of her being sexy in different videos, and on red carpets previously from now. So like when they have the same, but when they have the same opinion already, or do you feel like because they're familiar with her work, it's not any different?
I just think in a situation like hers, like once you start having kids, in particular, she not only got kids, she got, I think, majority boys.
Like, she has 2 and 2.
She got twins, right?
She has 2 girls and 2 boys.
Cool. So when you talk about, all right, let's just use the daughters first. Do you want your daughters to mimic that as a lifestyle? Because, my mama, you know what I'm saying, she was on music videos, you know what I'm saying, twerking and popping, or do you want her to be opposite of that? And then, you know, for her having sons, do you, because boys are unforgiving, man. Like, I done heard stories of, like, kids pulling up, you know, like their classmates' moms, you know, OF page and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, bro, this your mama? You feel what I'm saying? And look, I don't know how her children are with Russell, but I can imagine, you know what I'm saying, little Future gonna probably get it in a few years once he gets older and start being around people, and, you know, people start realizing like who his parents are and stuff like that, and pulling up different material. It's like you have to ask yourself, like, do you want your kids to go through, you know what I'm saying, ridicule that off of things that you did? You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't just your life no more.
Well,
like,
what about Future? I mean, don't you think that he became a father and he raps, about a plethora of things, including drugs and sleeping with women, being promiscuous. He has an extensive record in the court for not taking care of his children. Don't you think that they would have those same sentiments too? Like, should he go ahead and rectify those things?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick, and this is the double standard. But I don't think most children give a fuck about what the daddy do unless only if he there. The only time kids care about what fathers do if they ain't there. Other than that, like your daddy was doing OnlyFans, slanging dick, had a bunch of, I don't think kids really care about that. Your mama, because you got to think about this. When we grew up, you heard your mama jokes. Niggas didn't really talk about a lot of your daddy jokes. It was only if your daddy wasn't there. Your daddy went to the store to get some milk and he never came back. That type of shit. But you're going to get the mama jokes.
I agree. Your mom, that's your mom, man. Like that hits a little different, bro, versus talking about, your dad. Like, oh, okay, it's my dad, whatever. But your mama, like, you ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a cute mama too. Oh man, like I ain't saying to myself.
See, the only thing I think about with the Sierra though, it's not like finding an OnlyFans page though, because it's like she's already out there. So most of the people that's going to see a Sierra, even though she's a mother, she's not synonymous with being a mother. She's known as being Sierra. And I think that's the saving grace of her still dancing and stuff. Even though she has kids, it's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be like kids, oh, your mama Sierra, it ain't gonna be on. And you gotta think about this too. We really talk about like this kind of like nigga shit, honestly. But then we had these conversations. You gotta think about a lot of people coming up listening to Sexy Red. They got their kids twerking and shit like that. People ain't gonna really give a fuck about her on a fucking chair like that. I know we do, and we look at optics and stuff like that. I get it, but a lot of these motherfuckers is slow. Like I said, a lot of people, is retarded. But I just don't think, because who we know her as, we don't know her as Sierra the mother. We know her as Sierra the artist, singer, dancer, shit like that. So I think that's going to be the saving grace. Now, we did have people who did become mothers and get the fuck out the way. Paris Hilton got pregnant. always on the scene. We ain't. With me, I haven't seen.
You
Paris
haven't,
Hilton.
but she been touring and doing all kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Paris Hilton because she was all everywhere. Like it's Hilton hotels and all. Like I seen her everywhere. I think I seen like a picture of her posting her big headed ass son, and that was it. But
yeah, she's a DJ now. She DJs across the country. She DJs across the world. Like she's in a different element, so you may not see it in those spaces. But she still, she just had a big influencer party not too long ago. So
or like Eve. Eve was another one.
Right.
Got married, dipped. Megan Good got married, dipped off the scene. Like it's a lot of women that I think if they want to, I think we're having a conversation. I think going back to what does wife look like, because we have seen with some women put their careers on the back burner for a husband and for a family, and then they pop back on the scene and now they back doing movies or back doing the stuff they was doing before that. So and that's commendable because remember I told you. I appreciated when Megan Good and her husband, how they divorced at first, to that bitch ass they got on there start crying about, God, she wasn't the wife. I said, oh my God.
He can do that. Now, not to cut you off, Brad. Now, and this is where I think the conversation gets sticky. And I don't really like to play the race card, but I'm going to play it because you mentioned Eve. If Sierra married a white man, would she still be twerking on a motherfucking chair? Let's be real. Because we got the content, we got a lot of content that we show where these black women are self-admitting how they interacted with their white husbands and boyfriends versus their black one. If Sierra married a white man in the same position of a Russell Wilson, quarterback, basketball player, star, whatever, business acumen, whatever, the same level status-wise, financial-wise, would she still be twerking on Broncos and chairs?
No. But let me say this.
Why?
Hold on. Let me say this too. I don't necessarily think it's a respect thing. I think a lot of that shit is a cultural thing. And when I say that, is like the dancing, the movies, the hip hop, the twerking, all that's part of our culture.
Russell Wilson don't come from that culture. But because he's black, he don't come from that culture.
He don't come from that, but he's a black man.
But he don't come from the culture.
He don't, but he's a black man. So it's the same thing. Like if you with a white man, it would be different. It'd be kind of look crazy for you to be married to a white man and be twerking because he ain't gonna. It's not a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that elephant in the room is saying something different.
But I agree about the white
why
man.
Is Eve in pocket like goddamn? Come on now.
But I just I gave Megan Good too. Megan Good went the fuck away too though.
I'm talking about. I'm using this specific to white men. We see Eve with Stevie J, and with this white man.
Yeah,
totally different.
But like I said,
it depends on the man though, right? Because when Rihanna was dating Ashton Kutcher, she wore that very iconic. Everybody know that Swarovski crystal outfit to the Met Gala.
But he didn't marry her either.
He didn't. But I'm just saying, even just their relationship didn't change how she wanted to move. He accepted her when she was raunchy on stage and singing about riding and doing all these other kind of things. And I think Sierra would show up in the way that she has with her other relationships. Now, I do feel like she does change a bit to the man to conform to what he likes, because her aesthetic when she was with Bow Wow, her aesthetic with Future, and her aesthetic with Russell always paired to like what that man was doing. But can we just sit up here and say, oh, she would not be dancing on no chair?
I think she's older too, so she has more of a classier look now.
Rihanna?
Sierra. She has more of a classier look.
Yeah, she. But I'm just saying. But what I'm saying, what you saying, you said Ashton Kutcher accepted. I would say the accepting would be putting a ring on her finger.
Yeah, see, that's my.
Well, he continued to date her post that, so it wasn't an issue.
It came to an end.
It did, but not because of that. He went like, "Oh my God, your nipples were out at the Met Gala."
We don't know what conversation had been door. All I look at is end result. I don't know what happened behind the closed door. I would say if he really accepted her, you would have seen him get on one knee. You would have seen him proposing to her to ring and marrying her. I'm not saying that's the reason why they broke up either.
But let me say this too. This is another thing. I think this perceptionally, just on some perception shit, we have heard black women say they act different. Plenty of videos say they act different with white men than when they with black men, right? We've heard plenty of videos with the swirling community, all this. With a white man, you got to do X, Y, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're just perception why what they think they got to do to secure a white man, because we have seen plenty of white men marry porn stars.
I mean,
we done seen plenty of white men marry porn stars.
I'm not saying I'm not saying out of the populace, because I would have to ask what portion of white women are porn stars.
But this so that's where I knew you was gonna go. So then I think about
1%.
Hold on. Then I think about school when I'm around white people. White boys still be in relationships, knowing and seeing videos of their girls getting trains and all types of shit. They are okay. And I've heard black women say this. We want to be like, not they don't say it like this, but basically they want the autonomy to have the bad behavior like white women do when they have their college days. Because black men, we see a girl, we heard that she had train. Oh no, I ain't fuck with her. But we done seen a lot of white men know they bitches getting trains ran on in college. I'm not
saying it don't happen. I'm just
we
saying
had a whole
girl.
We had a whole girls going wild, and a lot of them girls when they got married, they husband know they was out there flashing titties and everything.
When we had these conversations, what's the main word I use? It started with a G.
I think those are general. I think for how big girls going wild is. College life.
The portion of white women that do porn and girls going wild is not even 2%.
And college life, I added all three. I said
7%.
So you telling me only 7% of white bitches go to college?
No, I'm saying the chicks in college. All chicks that's in college ain't hoes.
I ain't saying they is, but
I'm saying the populace is so small. It's still in the exception realm. I'm talking in general, 51%. That's the majority. That's not the majority.
I'm gonna be real. So I went to St. Clair County High School. That's where I graduated from, right?
Yeah.
My senior year.
Okay.
From what I seen from the white girls, even get my dick sucked my first time was by a white girl.
Crazy.
I'm just gonna keep it all the way 100. So when I was when I think about what I seen, what white girls was talking about getting fucked in the ass because they didn't want to get they hymen broke.
That's the thing.
Like they was out there with it. Like the shit that I was hearing on these white girls.
I'm not saying that because I'm saying porn stars. That's what we're talking about.
I looked up the percentage.
Hold on.
A porn star.
Hold on. You said general. So I'm just going by a high school, and I think that my high school dynamic is not a spinoff. I think a lot of white high schools will probably be indicative of what I just said.
Go ahead. What you got, Shanti?
Okay, so the Internet Adult Film Database says that 70.5% of porn stars are white, 14% are black, 9.3% are Latina, and 5.2% are Asian.
Okay, now I know the demographics. No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the census of it's 300 some million people in America. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have about 80 million white women, 70 to probably 80 million white men, and then everything else fall, or maybe higher. I'm just using it as a relative number. So out of 80 million white women in America, how many of that 80 million are porn stars?
Hold on. Look, let's do this. They said 10% of women OnlyFans. Listen, from 18 to 24, they said 10%.
And what's the racial breakdown of that 10?
Most of them are white.
Okay, what's the racial breakdown of 10%? I got a 10% of a cake. How much I'm gonna eat? How much you eat? How much you eat?
I get it. I just gave you 10%, but from an age range of 18 to 24, though.
We got to break it down by race.
Okay, so if we broke it down by race, we add all the races to that, you're going to have a big number of white bitches.
You know why? Because there's more white women here than it is any other woman.
So that's not my argument. Your argument
is how many women in America are porn stars.
Okay,
and what's the race? That's my argument.
Right. Your argument is general.
How
many white women?
Not the demographic breakdown of who is in the industry. That's not the argument.
I'm not talking about the industry. I'm talking about what they say.
I get what they say, but my argument, I'm just saying, specifying my argument is 300 some million people in America. Mm-hmm. A good portion of that are white women.
Right.
How many of that big portion make up this porn star portion?
I think
it's not 51%. That means 5 out of 10 white women. If you go out here right now, that means 5 out of 10 white women are porn stars. That's not true. It's not true.
Hold on. Let's clarify a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Porn stars
I'm saying porn stars that do porno. I can pull up. I can go out there and ask 10 white. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it. I go out there and ask 10 women. Hey, what's your name? No porn. Hey, what's your name? No porn. Hey, what's your name? That's a random simple sample. Because I'm using them.
We should actually do that.
We should do that. I think, Brad, you brought up a good. Like I said, we've been going over. Give us some closing statements, Brad. I don't want to hold us too long. I gotta get to work, man.
Oh no, man. But what I was just gonna say, bro, is I think if people want to see Tyler Perry produce better material, I think that his core base, which is black women, they gotta, up their taste palette, man, because the majority of things that that he made is just simple. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna repeat exactly what said, but you know what I'm saying, low budget film for low budget, you know what I'm saying?
Say it on Simpson on here, boy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if y'all get a chance, man, you know, look at that clip I sent y'all on that Black AL show that Kenya Burris did about 5 years ago. Like Tyler Perry talked about that junk where he was like, yeah, man, like I know how I make my movies, and I know I got critics and stuff like that, but you know, I got a base. So he pretty much told himself. So it's like, you know, if you want to see better material, you know, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like having like a mayor. Yeah, I may have voted you in, but I'm gonna also hold you accountable to do what you say you can do as far as this job title is concerned.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
Well, you got close.
Yeah, let me go.
Well, thank you for calling
Appreciate
in,
you,
bro.
Bye.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
All
right, now. What you guys said? This was a good debate. This one, this might be one of our top.
I want to know how many white bitches do porn now.
Went 2 hours. But like I said, it's a New Normal podcast. We just breaking down straws, breaking down content and entertainment, and what draws you to it, and why does it draw you to it. So we got another one. We'll keep it going.
Oh, hell.
You got a spam call.
Spam call.
Yeah. But appreciate it, Santa, for rocking with us today. Our producer, engineer. And she also gave some input, which, like I said, all these perspectives need to be taken into consideration. Because I may want roasted potatoes, you may want fries. Right. She may want Brussels sprouts. So, like I said, but these are definitely some healthy debates that we like to have on the podcast. Saturday, we're gonna have something.
Record this Saturday.
We out this Saturday.
I'm going to Huntsville.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did say that. Okay, so off this Saturday, Monday, miscellaneous Monday, 12, 1 p.m. noon, around that time. Y'all check us out.
It's New Normal Podcast.